Welcome back to the land of dreams and nightmares. We had some technical changes, so we are back on schedule this week. We're now using StreamYard for streaming. This is our first time using it. It looks like it's great. It looks like it's going to work well. So let's see how it goes. We did play 2 weeks ago. It didn't get live streamed, but we played. So I'm going to do a recap. We're going to do a recap. I'll do my best to remember things, but they'll probably chime in. And then we'll get into where we're at in the adventure. So let's introduce everybody first, and then we'll start. We're in a different order here today.
Yeah, we're in a completely different order.
Let's just keep with the alphabetical thing. It's easy.
All right. First in the alphabet, I am Adam, and I am, as always, playing Carderock Hawkness, the noble knight-errant, multi-class, bard, paladin, hybrid nonsense. He's a combined level of 10.
Hey guys, my name is Dennis, and I play Lykar Telvantis, the level 9 and 9.5 Storm Saucer.
9.9
milestones.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Robin. I play the Arcane Trickster known as Robin. And
I thought you were going to say I'm Robin. I play the Arcane Trickster, Nick.
Secretly, I do. You know,
I'll do that.
But I am the level 9 Arcane Trickster Rogue.
Hearthstone. Hearthstone.
But don't you have a bit of Warlock now?
Oh, it's true. Yeah, and I do have a few Warlock spells like Eldritch Blast, and I think I have Hex as well. I'm the better Warlock in this party, obviously. I have more power.
That is up for debate. We're not going to do that. I am Drakevale. I am playing Vince the Shadow Monk Rogue. Someone had to do it. I am Drakevale, Shadow Monk Rogue,
Vince,
known as Drakevale.
20-something American male. Oh wait, no, it's all wrong.
Is it stupid o'clock yet? All right. And I'm Warsor, and I play Captain Noxiqual, the human Hexblade Warlock, level 10.
And I'm Esper, your dungeon master. I'm feeling particularly bloodthirsty tonight, so I'm just putting that out there. All right, so last time we played, the party was still on the Isle of Clan Longtooth, an orc island just south of the mainland of Dreckengrim. Soon to be filled in on the map. It will happen. And, they had encountered an orc tribe led by a Naga, not a very nice Naga. They killed the Naga. Oh, no. They fought the Naga. They defeated her, but she escaped. They eventually found some tricks using Dimension Door to get into her vault below her court. And it was filled with a thick, magical, poisonous gas. They were able to disable the poison, yes. They looted what treasure they could, but alas, the Naga had already spirited away with the choicest pickings of her hoard. So the party is not quite sure where the Naga went off to. Help me with the name here. Rumlan Kawaya.
Yes, Rumlan Kawaya.
Rumlan Kawaya, yeah.
Rumlan Kawaya is out there somewhere still. Noxiqual essentially intimidated one of the leftover Orog warriors into being their new leader. We'll see how that pans out, perhaps.
The problem is she's not dead, so she'll just take over again.
Yeah. Then things really took a turn for the dark when they returned back to the ship to find the majority of the crew slain. Energy drained by specters that had come out of the Mer Queen's mist engulfed the ship.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Kobe the Lion was alive, exhausted, wounded, but alive, and he'd fought them back as best he could. And at the end, he was out of his wits with fear and was hiding in a garderobe. and there were corpses all over the place. Just a few straggling survivors. We lost the rat skinner, the cook, and the healer, and the bosun, and there were just a few crewmen. We lost Parkereth, the goblin bard. There were just a few of the crewmen left, and there was Kobe the lion, and there was Dignahar, that dwarven crossbowman that joined on at.
And the cook.
Oh, the cook was still alive?
I want to say. Yeah,
Okay.
remember?
Okay, yes,
You
that's
remember
true.
what happened.
Rat Skinner was alive, and he was cursing Noxiqual. You left us to die! He was totally having a meltdown.
And completely drunk at the same time.
And completely drunk.
Yeah.
And he, swore off Noxiqual and insulted him. Noxiqual used a measure of patience and understanding and kind of like smacked the man to his senses, and he eventually recovered. He eventually got a hold of himself and overcame his moment of mental breakdown.
I think Robin helped out a little bit with that as well, right? Like there was almost a mutiny.
There was a tense moment there. Yeah.
So, well, we get to that.
Kobe stayed loyal.
So,
Yeah.
the thing was, though, before you left this out, back at the Naga's home, I communed with the masked one before we left. And the masked one had a message for Noxiqual saying that Dagon had recently suffered a massive blow to his power, and he was pretty much weakened right now, and there might be an opportunity.
Dagon is currently absent, and he was defeated in Bazagon. Not slain, but he retreated back to the Abyss.
Yes. And that means that there's an opportunity now, if Noxiqual could seize upon it, to go and get the treasure that's sunk on the Maiden's
Siren's Kiss.
Siren's Kiss.
The ship that Drake was originally coming in on that got attacked by Deep Drinker and sunk.
It's been a goal for some time.
Been a goal, yeah. There's something in the cargo hold that's of import.
And we'll be finally able to get it. Yes.
So Noxiqual basically said, no, we're not going back to Grenadoa. We're not going back to port. We're sailing on. Maybe we'll stop off at Dusk Isle for supplies or something that we need, but we're going to press on. Now is the moment of opportunity. And that was a tense decision.
Well, there were only 6 crewmen left, and they were like, "You're mad, Captain. Like what do you the gold? It's driven you mad." And I'm like,
"Yeah, you're drunk on glory and greed."
Yeah, I'm like, "I'll make you richer than your wealthiest dreams."
Yes, there was a bit of persuasion there.
That was when Robin came in. I think it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the other one.
Well, I mean,
the silver-tongued one with his honeyed words.
You got to motivate them with what speaks to them, and greed is a universal language that all men speak. So I think that was successful, and we got their eyes lit up with the gold. The
Drake's not motivated by greed. That's the only problem.
Oh well, you're motivated by other reasons.
Drake has his own motivations that Noxiqual knows.
Robin's extremely humble as well. He doesn't care about that kind of thing.
So the party was the crew, right? Was exhausted and energy drained. And everyone was essentially like dead on their feet. So it was already nightfall. So everyone went to rest, and the party was taking shifts.
First, Esper, we met up in my cabin to divide the treasure.
Oh yeah, there was a cabin scene. Yeah.
So we met up in my cabin without the crew around because there was treasure that we had recovered from the vault.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was anything significant in that treasure that we need to cover.
I don't think there was anything super significant.
I think it was a lot of money. I remember there was a jewel worth 1,500 gold, and then
there was some coinage and some jewels that was noteworthy. It didn't turn you into lords overnight, but it was a nice claim.
Basically, everyone pretty much got 1,500 gold, basically.
Yeah, it was a noteworthy amount of wealth that was recovered. And then privately, Noxiqual, you performed an infernal calling spell.
And
you summoned
everyone out.
Yeah. You summoned Abigor, and you treated with him in private.
For the audience, who's Abigor?
Oh my goodness. Abigor goes back to like session 0 of this campaign.
Way back before the Stormbringers brought storms.
Yes.
Back to a time when Noxiqual was the only one that's still here.
Yeah, that's true. So it took place up here in a flooded cave at the source of the Sedge River, known as Devil's Den. And within the heart of Devil's Den, there literally is a Devil's Den. But actually, the devil there is a well-spoken one and has kind of a well-appointed great hall. And
well-appointed if you're a goblin named Cugs.
especially well-appointed for Cugs. And Abigor, the barbed devil, is what would we call him? An overseer. He is a keeper of a site where there are gates to the far realm, and he oversees wards. And it seems that only rarely do things seep through, and it seems like only the lower powered things get through. But the party on that first session did do a bit of aberration extermination. But they also had a bit of a scuffle with Abigor, and Noxiqual was there. So Noxiqual treated diplomatically with Abigor in this current scene when he called him up through a ritual. And you were interested in these types of runic wards that can hold at bay extraplanar incursions.
I figured specifically old ones, sort of things, like what Dagon is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's great debate about Dagon. Is he a great old one in the aberration sense? Is he a demon lord? What is he? It's all a bit mysterious and mucky, but he is not from the material plane. That much is known.
True.
All right, so Drake was in his elven meditative trance on the top deck while everyone slept in the
and was able to come out of it just in time as the undead crew comes back over to attack.
Yeah, the drowned dead, now undead, fueled by the nightmares of Amarantha, the Mer Queen, come crawling up onto deck. Drake is fighting them off, and the rest of the party makes it up on deck kind of one at a time in staggered succession, and they fight the undead back off of the ship. At the climax of the encounter, Noxiqual uses a sickening radiance that pretty well vaporizes a lot of the undead. At the end, there's only one dead surviving, hanging on by his little claws off the front of the ship is Parkareth. Robin looks tasty. And they determined that Parkareth is worth keeping.
He's our new pet. He's our new pet.
As long as they can hold him back from devouring the flesh
he's got at least
of
as much
Robin
intelligence as Robin, so I figure.
That is true.
Don't I have like the most intelligence in the party?
At least. I said at least as much. Nothing against your intelligence, per se.
That should bring us up to speed, does it not?
Other than
who got,
still has Drake's bag of holding.
Also, who got the inspiration again? I don't remember.
I believe it was me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to
Twas
remember
Noxiqual.
that. Put a
Drake's
little
gonna want his
marker.
bag back.
So it was the second phase of a harrowing day. But the party survives. The party persists. And now we make sail eastward from the Cairn coast to Dusk Isle.
Yes, there's just one last thing I just want to make sure we didn't forget, Esper. The negotiation with Abigor was successful, and he was going to try to see if he could quickly get those wards on my ship, I think, but...
Yes, he did mention that he would
handle that.
He did mention to you that he would have to speak with his superior, one Telthius the Grinning.
Well, I figured in the next 8 hours either they'll get it or they won't, so I don't know.
He was going to attempt in his expedients as he can to procure the means of placing warding upon your ship. There was also a open-ended payment. I mean, your payment to him is still left open-ended, though he seemed to be gracious and willing to work with you on the finer points of that. He was not altogether too interested in the idol of Orcus.
Yes, I figured the payment that we kind of semi-agreed upon was bringing the prophetess, Thane
Eldanin.
Yep.
Ah,
Figured you might have forgotten that little
prophetess,
detail.
scion, heretic, some say, Messiah, perhaps others claim, mad woman, others might say still.
But she knows things.
Wanderer. She's followed by this cult that call themselves the Vortex Cult.
Mm-hmm.
She does have a unmistakably mystic and profound way about her. And she's actually made a big difference in the lives of certain people, such as the diviner from the Silver Citadel who nearly died of a disease, and she helped him cure himself, actually.
Yes.
Gundren Brightstar?
Gundren Brightstar!
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so I believe now we are caught up to speed, and we're going to be sailing.
All right.
I want to sing like a pirate song while we're sailing. And I'm gonna try and get Card to play some music for me.
Well, so where would Captain Noxiqual be at the moment? Because Drake wants to get that bag of holding back.
Yes, I did keep your bag of holding. Fair enough. Captain Noxiqual would probably be at the helm.
Okay, then Drake's gonna head up to the helm, asking see if he can get the back. This one wonders if the captain would be willing to give the bag of holding back to this one.
Yes, of course. I've forgotten all the things that happened yesterday. He pulls it out and hands it over.
Drake takes it, puts it back onto where he keeps it secure, and then is going to move off to help with the crew on sailing.
It's
you're muted,
morning.
Your card. Okay.
With axe in hand I sail from shore to shore and through the gale, riding on the skies, the waves, and the skies are pale. Yes, that's how it goes. With axe in hand again I shall sail. I didn't know you knew that one, Robin.
Oh yes, I tried to keep up with my pirating songs.
Aye, well, I suppose you know the second verse.
I'm gonna look and be like, well, I think that you have a much better voice than me. Maybe you should sing it.
Oh, I thought so. Amateur hour. Yeah.
Robin has a silver tongue, not silver lungs. So it's the morning after, in the aftermath of this harrowing, grisly tragedy of the Storm's Eye. Kind of late morning, bitter weather again. It's really cold. Just the nasty, biting cold of Dreckengrim winter is upon everyone. Your breath is puffing clouds into the air, and you might be shivering a bit. It is snowing. It's not snowstorm, but it's snowing. Skies are darkly clouded. The sea is rough. It's still a nasty winter weather here.
Everyone should have some sort of cloak. I think I gave everybody
I think we all have
a winter wolf cloak.
You did
Back
give
when we
that.
were in Raven's Wool. So you guys shouldn't be too cold. At least the party. I don't know about the rest of the group.
So you've all got
actually,
on.
the rest of the crew just freezing. Getting warm clothes.
So you've all donned cloaks of winter wolf fur over your armor and your clothing and such to keep yourselves warm. The crew is up there. They've had a meager breakfast and drank down their cups of watered ale, and they're doing what they can to keep themselves warm. Captain, are you sure we're going to Dusk Isle? What if another one of those storms hit and the things come out again?
I've made arrangements to make sure that this ship will be protected against any such storms. But all you have to do is follow my orders, and I assure you, There will be much glory and wealth ahead for all of you.
That's right. Keep to the captain's orders. We're heading on. Dusk Isle awaits us. True, slimmer though we are, but just the fat has been trimmed away and the strong survive.
Well said, Kobe. Well said. See to your duties, men.
The ship sails eastbound. The water's choppy, the boat's rocking and listing. It's a really unpleasant travel. Your plan is to make Dusk Isle within the day. I'm
gonna look at fuck, my mind is like so broken right now. I'm gonna look at oh goodness, Lykar. I can't think today for some reason.
That's usual.
Yeah, gonna go to Lykar. Be like, Lykar, do you think you can make it a bit warmer? I mean, I know that you're always really tense, but you don't need to keep it this cold, right?
I do not control the weather.
But you're a storm sorcerer, right? I mean, you can do something about this, like make it go away, make the sun come out.
Well, I can prevent the wind from blowing around us. So.
Oh yes, that'd be nice. At least me. Make it. I don't, as long as I don't have to worry about it. Very cold.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can control the wind around us, so I can make a little bubble of calm air.
You do your best to abate the snow and the whipping winds, which does help some, of course. It doesn't do anything for the biting cold and the fact that the seas are choppy and rough, but perhaps dear Robin has been made a bit more comfortable.
Robin is
Do you want to get him some raspberries while you're at it?
You know, wait, who said that? Do you have raspberries? I really like those things. I haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, here's a raspberry.
All right, so let's do a little bit of sailing, Captain.
Alrighty.
We're looking for a check of sorts. Let's see. We're looking towards a navigation check.
Oh man, it's almost like I'm trained in navigator's tools. Or something. Let's see, we're gonna use you. Nope, you.
There's nothing but open water and crashing waves to either side.
I'm gonna
blue to all horizons surrounding.
I got a 15.
15. Okay. You hold your course and you sail throughout the day.
8 hours?
Frigidness and seasickness be damned. The going is a bit rough and it takes you longer than anticipated. By the time you're nearing Dusk Isle, the light, what meager light there has been this winter day, has faded out, and you are arriving just after dark. Dusk Isle is, again, no large island. This one is largely wooded. It's grown over with spruces, pines, firs, and other such, largely a coniferous forest island. You know about Dusk Isle, Noxiqual. You've been here before, and in fact, most Drekkins have heard a tale or two about this place. It has a bit of history to it. It used to just be a strictly forested island, pretty dense forest at that. But about 2 centuries ago, the island was used by a fabled pirate captain known as Grist Reed. He made a hideout here, an inland hideout. In fact, he's known that he cleared out some sort of cave and kept his loot and his plunder in there. Eventually, a little hamlet was founded by he and his crew and those that associated with them. Eventually, he came and he went and he died, and this little hamlet grew into a sort of island village known as Rockerstad. The ship that this Grist Reed sailed was Lady Luck. And when you were at Rockerstad last time, Noxiqual, you and your crew visited Lady Luck. Indeed, the ship has been brought ashore and is a tavern, a centerpiece of the village.
What's the name of the town again?
Rockerstad. R-A... Actually, I'll spell it in a comment if that's...
Rockerstad! Or something like that. No?
Yeah, some might pronounce it Rackerstad, but
Well,
that's
you're the creator. It's Rockerstad.
yeah. Well, that just depends if you've got the accent of the first men or not. So you've been here before. It's pretty rough and tumble, this place, but they've got a lot of tavern or maybe brothel taverns. They've got some flop houses you can stay at. There is a outfitter mercantile. There's actually 2 pirate captains that live here nowadays. There is Captain Sovius Cadano of the Bloody Mariner, and there's Captain Arden Galen of the Jolly Beast. Everyone just calls him Cap. You know a little bit about both of them.
I do. What was the name of the second one that's not Bloody Manor?
Arden Galen, though everyone just calls him Cap. He doesn't sail so much anymore. Last you heard, he's wanting to retire. Okay. But he does live there in his crew, and he's got a nice ship. Sovius Cadano, he's a bit more active.
Oh, yes. We know all about him.
He lost his hand to a shark many years ago, and he had a new hand, a fell hand, magically grafted on.
Yep. And we know he owes allegiance to the Deep Drinker.
Yes. As far as you know, both of these captains pledge allegiance to Deep Drinker. Deep Drinker and Nyarlathotep are the 2 main religions of Rockerstad. So the Sunken King and the Wanderer King seem to hold sway here.
Yes. Well, I do have to say this place sounds like a bit of a free place where less reputable sorts might be able to offload cargo or take jobs.
Yeah, there are
haven, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. There are smugglers and thieves and looters that will come through. There's black market goods being sold. There's drunks. There's whores. There might be a bit of demon worship going on. All around a jolly good place to have a bit of fun.
Well, the thing is, we're looking for the shipwreck, which would have probably been on the eastern side, I'm guessing, is where, I assume the sail of the ship would have come from the east towards Drakengrim. South?
South. Bazagon is to the southeast. So that's the direction it would have been coming from.
Most likely it's somewhere to the southeast of the Dusk Isle, but not too far away.
Yeah, you got the info that the shipwreck or the sunken ship is somewhere near Dusk Isle.
So here's my thought. I think we should dock. Perhaps we can find a new amount of crewmen as well who might be able to join on with the ship if we can find a reliable crew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just going to take anyone that's going to put a knife in our backs while we're sleeping.
You imagine you could find some amount of crewmen. It's not a large settlement, maybe 1,000 at the most population, probably just shy of 1,000.
I'm not looking to replenish my whole crew. I'll do that back in Grenadoa. But if we can get a couple hands so that people don't have to work through the night, we can take shifts and things.
Mm-hmm.
6 more people, 5 or 6 more people would be a great plenty of doubling our current, staff, if you will.
Seems reasonable to Noxiqual.
Yeah.
So for the elves, 4 hours sleep. That's all they need.
Did we all get a long rest and everything?
We did.
Yes.
That's why we stopped and didn't sail yet. So, but anyways, so we're gonna dock here. I think we should go ashore and we should gather some information. There may be someone that might be able to tell us where the shipwrecks of the Deep Drinker end up. Perhaps there's offerings that are made at a certain, spot in the ocean to this Deep Drinker, and perhaps that's where his collections seem to go.
Captain, before we seek these things out, we have so much money. I kind of want to go on a shopping spree, don't you?
If you wish to spend your time shopping, you can certainly do that as well. But I don't want us to take more than a day here at shore because we're setting out one way or the other, and we're going to hunt for the sunken ship if we don't find the information.
Fair enough, and I'm sure that if I spend some gold, they'll probably be more than willing to tell me a few rumors.
Yes,
Robin,
dear Robin. This one speaks true. Time, in this case, is money.
and I'll say this: I don't want you to wag your tongue, because loose lips sink ships, Robin. And I'll sink you first before my ship sinks.
I'm gonna give the captain a bow and say, "Dear captain, I only speak the truth."
As does Veron, dear Robin. As does Veron.
She tells you what you want to hear.
You are
Anyway.
arriving. You are arriving Dusk Isle just after dark. There is a cove on the northern end of the island, and once you get into the cove, you can see what otherwise is blocked from view. A tiny little. You barely even call it a wharf. It's just a few piers that go out. You see two pretty nice-looking sailing ships, the Bloody Mariner and Jolly Beast. You see some other smaller boats, fishing boats, and dinghies and rafts and such. There's barely even space for you to get the Storm's Eye in there. You hear some hoots and hollers from the little port here. There appear to be people aboard both of these pirate ships. There's some other people out on the docks. They've got braziers of fire keeping themselves warm. They might be having something to drink to keep themselves warm as well. And you see these like little flashes of light and little crackling explosions actually going into the water. So you hear like,
Interesting.
Okay.
it doesn't look like a battle.
Fireworks.
Kind of like a fire, like someone's shooting fireworks into the water.
Well, captain, it looks like they're having a wonderful time. Why don't we ever get to do things like that?
Shut up, Robin. No. Let's dock, and then I think
Do you
I
go for
want.
fireworks?
No. We don't have time for such frivolity. Now, I want everyone pairing up, and I think we should go ashore, and I want you each doing specific things. Because, Robin, if I don't tell you to go do a task, you're going to end up in the nearest brothel.
I would
And
never
just
go to a
waste all
brothel. I'm promised to another right now.
Mm.
I call not with Robin.
Oh well,
This
thank you.
one
Lykar.
also
It's
not
not like I wanted to be with you either.
Carderock, you and Robin and I are going to go on to shore, and we're going to be looking into the deep drinker, seeing if we can find if he has any places to the southeast where perhaps ships are.
Card walks into the conversation just in time to hear Carderock and Robin, and starts to turn around, and then hears the and I, and it's like,
It's like, oh wait, and Lykar and Drake, I want you to go ashore and see if you can find some men who would be suitable to work on the ship. I don't want any lollygags or just,
No riff.
untrustworthy sorts.
So your ship is approaching. You're about ready to lay to at this wooden pier that stretches out away, and it has some other boats moored. And you can see a couple things now that you're a bit closer. One is the fireworks that y'all mentioned actually is someone shooting like a cantrip, right? Some of the magical thing, prestidigitation type thing. And he's firing at something in the water. There's some person or person-like thing. It has, you don't know if it's wearing green armor or if it just has these greenish scales. Kind of a humanoid-looking thing. And it has something strapped to it that's keeping it afloat, like some kind of inflated bladders or something, like bladder sacks. So it can't actually get under the water. And they're firing these crackling bolts at it. And it's like, it doesn't look like it's having a good time.
Can I go take like a closer look at it? I want to like see what it is.
Hold that thought. The other thing that you see is that there are 4 men walking the length of this dock to come out and speak to you as your ship is coming into port.
All right, I'm gonna I guess are we like getting off of our ship now? I'm guessing.
Well, we're pulling up to.
Oh, we're still
We're
pulling
not
up.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they're waiting for us.
All right. I'm gonna look down and look at what's going on over there. I'm gonna go to
I'll
the U
focus on the
captain,
people who are coming to meet us and see if I recognize any.
and I want to be focusing on that thing in the water. I want to get a better idea of what it is and what's going on. Like if it's a humanoid or if it's something else. Or
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
yeah, this is bad. It's 11. Yeah, 11. So
Okay, so no further description beyond what I've given. Noxiqual, the ship is basically coming to a to a halt, real close to the dock.
Oh! Oh yeah, turn it around this way. No, you're gonna hit the thing. No, damn it! What are you from Grenadoa?
There's 4 guys. 3 are humans, and 1 is a lizard folk. They're wearing clothing, maybe a bit of light armor in the mix there.
I'm gonna whisper to the captain. They're very obnoxious, aren't they?
All right. As we pull up, I'm going to shout down to them. Ahoy! Who are you? What business do you have with my ship?
What business does your ship have here, Noxiqual?
Oh,
My own business. I was not aware that I needed to state such before bringing my ship into harbor.
You know how it goes. Just give us the tax and come ashore.
A tax. I'm gonna say that out loud.
Esper, do I know that there is a tax?
Yeah, there's always a tax. There's always a port fee. Yeah.
Oh, so that's a regular thing. Oh,
Yeah.
I won't
And
do it.
how much is this tax, Esper, from my
What are you
knowledge?
bringing ashore?
We're not bringing any goods ashore. We're simply stopping into port, taking on a few new crew, perhaps, and then setting sail day. Just enough time for my men to have a little bit of time to themselves to unwind.
All right, be 3 silver ahead.
Very well.
Last time you came here, it was 2 silver ahead.
Well,
we-
okay.
I
It was
would-
2 silver ahead. I'm like, 3 silver ahead. That's outrageous.
Well, we're living in outrageous times.
And what exactly makes these times so outrageous?
Well, let's see. Blizzards, mists of the Mer Queen, talk of deep drinker. We're practically stuck here.
Perhaps you're stuck here. I could go find my way to Grenadoa if I really need to.
Well, now, Nox, do remember.
So you are taking ship steering lessons in Grenadoa.
Do remember, when you were last here, was the crew not a bit more? Therefore, are you really spending more money now, or were you before?
It's not about how many crew I have. It's simply about not being cheated.
Ah, the matter of principle.
Yes,
The matter of
Todd.
principle is indeed principle.
Yes, Todd. It's always about the principle. I respect Captain for that. I'm quite principled myself.
Very well. Tell me, is Cap around?
Past his bedtime.
But he's here at his normal place.
The old codger hasn't died yet.
Very well. I'll descend the gangplank, and I'll shout to Kobe. I want you to hold a position here. Don't let anyone aboard the ship without my leave.
Hi, Captain.
And I will pay out silver into this man's hand. Coin by coin. Yeah.
All right, so make a, let's see, what do you do to see if you've already met this guy before? I guess it's just kind of my call right here.
Maybe
Your call.
insight?
You've met the lead guy before. You know his name is Mick Godkin. You've seen his other companions. You're not really familiar with them, but you know he's a pirate, for lack of any other better term. Carries a sword on him at all times. You see that one fellow next to him has a short sword and a longbow and a quiver. The other fellow has a staff of some sort, as does the lizard folk. So at that, the lizard folk turns and he looks at the kind of display that's happening in the water with the green scaled. It's not a lizard folk, but there's some green scale creature, some aquatic thing that swims pretty well. That's like desperately trying to get under the water and trying to get this thing off that's strapped to him. And this lizard folk just angles his staff.
Wait, can I?
And fires this like crackling prestidigitation type or fairy explosion something.
When I see that, I want to look at them and I'm gonna say, what's going on over there? What's in the water? Why they seem to be torturing this poor thing?
Colon scum.
Colinth.
What's it? Would I know what a colinth is? Or is that like
make a nature check?
Oh man, that's wisdom, right? Oh, it's
Intelligence.
Oh, okay, actually, okay.
Plumb the depths of your knowledge.
Oh, this is stuff that I'm good at. I got a 6. Oh man, unfortunate.
I don't know. What is it? Some kind of Sawagan thing? I don't know.
Do I know what it is?
Go for it.
15.
Drake got an 11 on the roll.
I got a 17.
Nox, you know a little bit about Colinth. It's a rare form of goblinoid. They are distant cousins of the hobgoblin. And they are natural swimmers. They can actually breathe in the water. They don't have any particular cold resistance, so you imagine he's pretty chilly at the moment. A strange aquatic goblinoid thing.
Okay, I'm not getting involved. I don't care enough about a goblin.
Even though I can't figure out what it is, I'm gonna look and say, I enjoy a good bit of fun myself, but that thing does seem to be alive. Don't you think it's a bit cruel?
Don't get involved, Robin. It's none of our business.
Yeah. What are you, a goblin sympathizer?
I'm gonna look at the spam. I'm gonna be like, oh, trust me, I hate goblins as much as the next one, but no reason to torture them. I mean, we're not evil people, are we?
How far away is it?
Look, we ain't got anything else to do for fun around these parts. You got a better idea? We'll throw you in the water.
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, oh, you can certainly try if you'd like. I would love to
Robin.
Straight. I'm gonna say.
Don't start trouble.
I'm gonna look at you and say, I'm not trying to start trouble, Captain, but I don't think something needs to be tortured endlessly.
I'll have you know that one gets cold very easily. He would be screaming if he were over
Esper,
there.
how far off is that goblin from the boat?
I mean, he's swimming about maybe 80, 100 feet.
Okay, he's out of range. Never mind. I was going to see if I can hit him with a dart. Just to end the misery.
We have our duties to tend to.
All right, so you paid the port toll.
Yep.
You got your captain's ledger. He opens up a sort of ledger of his own, this waterlogged book, writes down some notes, licks the thing, puts a stamp on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he just puts like something. You don't know if it's an initial or just a random mark from a quill and ink.
It's bureaucracy.
Yeah.
The fellow with the longbow kind of looks everyone up and down, the lot of you. Are you sure you're not bringing anything ashore? Don't got any valuables secreted away on you? Don't need any frisking,
Are you
do you?
prying into my personal effects?
Looks like you got a bag of holding on you. You could have all sorts of things in there.
That we could. Your point.
Yeah, you said you weren't bringing anything ashore.
We aren't.
Why don't you turn it inside out? Give us a look.
Are you calling me a liar?
Everyone around here might be a liar for all we know. I'm just doing my job.
me a liar.
Anything
Is that-
personal?
It's very personal. That's
I'm
my
actually-
personal bag of holding.
I'm gonna step-
If you will, good sir, we bring only storms, if you know what I mean.
Stormbringer, bring great boom.
Says the lizard folk.
I see you've heard of us.
This one shoots fireball out of asshole.
Pointing at Lykar.
I'm going to smile so much and look at Lykar and be like, oh, I didn't even know you shot them out of your ass. That's quite good to know. Keep that in mind.
Yes, we could have a demonstration right now if you'd like.
As long as you point us toward water.
I'm pointing at your face.
Listen, gentlemen, there's no need for hostility here. I assure you, on my word, that we are not bringing anything that you would find of any interest on shore.
If I catch
fact-
word that you're wheeling and dealing without paying a proper tax, it's going to be your ass getting played.
Any wheeling and dealing, I will be sure to pay my good hacksman any such fees that are required.
The one who had not spoken yet, and he seems to only be carrying just a basic staff, very plain looking staff, and just kind of like winter cloak. He says in a very low voice, "We're wasting our time. Just let them pass."
Indeed.
Go. Have a good time.
After you, gentlemen. I say as I point back the only way down the dock, because I'm not leaving them beside my ship.
Smart.
Good idea.
So there is a pathway that leads through this dense forest land, about maybe 2 miles inland, where you find Rockerstad, a isolated and secluded village, really. But
I do actually-
it is alive. You see glows and some of behind some of the shutters. You
I did have
see smoke drifting off from chimney tops.
I did have a quick question. I wanted to do
There are a
something.
lot of brothels there, Robin.
Oh no, not the brothel. This is something else.
Second
it
question.
involved-
Okay, go on.
Yeah, it it involves the goblin folk that was in the water. Once we're in a position where I can do something where like perhaps like stealthily where these people won't know who does it. I want to actually pull out my bow and actually like try and like kill the goblin, like shoot him like in the head to like sort of just end the suffering, like without anyone noticing.
You take cover in the trees.
Mhm.
All right. You hide
I'm
yourself.
okay. I'm okay
behind,
if I'm okay if my party notices. By the way, just like not anyone.
You hide yourself behind pines and spruces and amongst the shadows. Take your aim. Go ahead and shoot. It's a bit of a long shot. What's the range on your?
Let me check. I have 80/320.
Okay, roll it with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay. God, I rolled a 20 and a 2, so
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, it would be +9, so 11. I don't think that would hit though.
You definitely do not strike your target. And one guy who's like sort of like hanging off of a post of the wharf, he sees this arrow thing kind of whiz by not far from him.
Whoa! What in the nine hills was that?
All right. I'm gonna like begrudgingly like move forward with the rest of the party now since I missed my first shot.
All right, so you
Wow,
leave it
Dagon.
behind, hearing these like echoes of crackles behind you at the fort. At the center of the village of Rockerstad is indeed a galley that is on the ground, like affixed in place, like actually with a bit of mortaring and stuff around the base. It has a door that opens up and legitimately functions as a tavern. You do hear some sounds, a bit of voices, music coming from the inside. There's a few other little small drinking spots that seem like there is activity still. It's, just a bit after dinner time at this point.
That's fair.
Well, Captain, perhaps we should find some lodging.
I think we need to do what we came here for. Drake and Lykar, you know what you need to do. Find us some crew. Card, Robin, you're with me. We're going to look into seeing if we can find out more on the likely graveyard of ships to the southeast of here. Alright. I'm going to look, Esper, for... Is there a temple to Deep Drinker or
Yes.
a shrine?
Yep. There are 2 shrines in Rockerstad on opposite ends of the settlement. One is a shrine to Deep Drinker. It's a small wooden building, and when you open up the door and go inside, there is a well, like a water well or a wishing well, in the middle of it, and there's this basic carving on a log, an erect log of wood of a kind of a angry yet eerie fishy face. On
Does
the
it look
opposite side
like-
of the
I've seen Deep Drinker's face. Does it look like him?
well, it's not exactly a master artisan that made this, but it suffices for an effigy of sorts. On the opposite side of Rockerstad, which again is no great distance away, is another structure. This one is made of like stacked and mortared stones, and on the inside there is another effigy, likely done by the same artist. It's the same style and all of what looks to be a hood up cloaked figure with these like kind of star constellations over his shoulder.
Nayara Lothep.
Yeah, almost looks like a crown of stars adorning over his head. There is a basic altar, just a basic wooden altar affixed in front of him. It smells like they burnt tons of tallow candles here over the decades.
I'm actually hoping to find someone that might be a priest of the Deep Drinker or, caretaker of their temple.
Mm-hmm. Yes. In fact, there are a few people there at the moment. 2 of them are, muttering quietly to themselves, seated to the side of the well. And the other one is an older woman. She is wearing a kind of like moth-eaten winter clothes. Looks like her clothing is really not all that great. However, on her head is a silver diadem. So it's a stark contrast to the shabby state of her clothing, this pretty nice headband. And she looks to be like she's polishing something or cleaning something. She's got to have a hunchy back and you can't see her face.
Okay. I'd like to go in and do I know who she is, or is she someone that I've never met?
Just give me a straight D20 roll, because there's not really a skill to see if you know somebody. It's more of a story thing.
Yep, I got a 2.
Okay. She doesn't ring a bell to you.
Okay.
In fact, you've never seen her before at all.
Okay. I'll approach the well where the people are. I'll say, greetings to you.
Hey, Captain Noxiqual?
I see my reputation precedes me.
I didn't know that you were a revere of the sunken king.
There are many who I would grant, shall we say, prayers to. But I was wondering, if one were interested in becoming a follower of this, who would I speak to? Who would be able to tell me of Deep Drinker and perhaps guide me on the path? He's pointing at the woman.
Yeah, he points to the one.
I say, thank you. And I nod to him and then head over towards her.
Good evening.
Greetings.
So she's got her arms kind of like working over something over and over again, and she's muttering something under her breath. She turns around and just has a pretty hag-like face.
Ah. Well, why'd you go surprise me like that for?
I wish to speak with you. My name.
And who are you, might I ask?
My
And
name
doing
is
it like this at this hour?
My name is Captain Noxiqual, and these are members of my crew, Robin and Carderock. We are interested in hearing things of the deep drinker. Perhaps he might be able to assist us in our travels.
Oh, it ain't no good for nothing. I'm wasting my time here. I'm not getting any younger in case you haven't noticed.
He's not good for nothing. Then why do you remain?
Well, what are your choices here? Or marry one of those ocean rats, or do some good honest work. I keep this place tended pretty well.
Card
Smells like this.
makes eye contact with Nox when she says ocean rats.
What is your name, lady?
My name's Sally.
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 I'm gonna step in and say, "What a beautiful name."
Oh, don't you go and try to seduce me now.
I'm
I
gonna
knew
like,
a Sally once. She sold seashells down by the seashore.
Oh, I'm sure she sold her seashell out.
Can I ask you a question? Since you seem like you have been here servicing the old temple here for some time.
Oh, why? Because I'm old? No, I just started working here a month ago.
Well, tell me then. Have you heard of any place to the southeast of here, a holy spot to the deep drinker, under the waves, perhaps?
Oh, geography. Now that is a subject that interests me. Did you know that the oldest civilization in Ikoria is actually not Bazagon? No, it is Gildus, the fallen empire.
And where might that have been?
To the east. Everyone knows Gildus in the east.
But back to my question, do you know of any place near here, Dusk Isle, where the deep drinker is particularly, shall we say, worshipped, perhaps some place of the water, a shipwreck graveyard, perhaps?
A shipwreck graveyard? Well, that sounds like a fantastical thing, but I don't know of any. Maybe the Coalents keep such things.
And where
Someone's been pushing them onto our island.
And where would these Coalents be?
Oh, they've got settlements, I suppose, under the waves.
And you said they've been coming onto the island.
Yes,
From where?
like a bunch of vandalizing trouts flopping around here and there, spreading their stink.
And where would one find them if one were so inclined?
They live under the water. I'm not kidding you. They're like fish.
I'm saying east side of the island, the west side, the south side, or the north.
We don't rightly know. We don't go down under the water. We're normal people.
Well, you've been extremely helpful. Thank you. And Captain Noxiqual turns and starts walking away.
As we all start walking away, I'm just gonna like look at the captain and just like smile.
Well, it looks like we're going to be going under the water.
Yes, I think we all can breathe except for Cod over here. He might drown, but sure we could find another paladin, right?
Let us go back and see how Lykar and Drake are faring back at the tavern.
I agree.
Okay, so Lykar and Drake, you went into Lady Luck.
Okay.
I guess.
Is that where you wanted to go?
Is that the bar? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the galley converted into a tavern.
Okay.
All right, so you walk inside. There's a swinging marker board over the doorway, which looks like a fair damsel who's just dangling lackadaisically off of the prow of the ship. On the inside, it is a heavy smell of pipe smoke and lamp oil and tallow candles and ale and wine from decades worth of spills. A little after hint of urine in there as well, with some sweat. There's a lot of people eating, drinking, talking. There's a number of tables. It's a pretty large tavern. And this is not a large settlement, so it seems like just everybody comes here.
Okay.
Whoa! Watch out!
Says a halfling, like as you almost knock him over, and he's like carrying a tray of cups.
Well, if you wouldn't be so small, we wouldn't have to watch out, I suppose.
He pays you no mind and hurriedly gets the drinks to a table.
This one would recommend Lysar that we find a table.
A half orc who's kind of like sitting like this, belches and like just stares at you as you're walking by.
I'm just going to ignore him. I guess we could go up to the bar and try and I guess talk to like the bartender and.
So if you look around for, is there some order to this place? You don't see a bar per se. There are some larger tables, like a feast table, and they seem to have who's who seated at them, and they seem to have the handle on the the jugs and jars and bottles and cuts of food.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just have a seat where. Do we have anybody that looks like they work here besides the halfling?
You look around and you see that halfling, and he actually goes back to one of those feast tables and is kind of intermingling with some pot-bellied guy who seems to be of some authority. There's a lot of people at this table, mind you.
Okay. It's like a big long table.
Yeah.
Oh, are there any open seats at the table? We can go over there and see what's going on.
There's no open seats. They're all taken. And you even see some people that don't even have seats that are just like leaning with their elbows up on the table, just like yammering away. It's a really loud and raucous place. There doesn't seem to be quite a flow or order to things.
Drake, what do you suggest? We can just go in and...
This one believes we should get our own table.
Okay. Is there any open tables in the area?
You don't see any open tables in this main room, but you do see there are stairs going up and down. It looks like there's other sections, as the ship would have a couple levels to it. Do you want to go look for an open table?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go find an open table.
Right. You pass by the half orc again.
Fucking elves.
Okay. We're on orcs or half orcs.
Yeah, I got it in the half that counts.
Yeah, half the brain.
He shows you, he like pulls aside his cloak and you see an axe and there's some kind of crusted matter on it. You like brains, do you? I like brains.
Huh?
He picks off a little like dried crusted chunk of something and like crunches on it.
Drake lets out like this over-exaggerated yawn at him. Like he's completely bored with the half orc.
Mainland orcs. don't get along with our kind here. And we get along even less good with elves from the mainland. This island used to have elves on it. Captain Grist Reed slew them all. Took it right from their ferry asses.
Oh, well. That was then, this is now. And I'm here.
If you out like that, they're going to put you to work at the whorehouse.
Okay.
One of his comrades turns his head and is like,
are these two giving you trouble here?
No, he's no trouble.
This one sees no trouble at all.
so it sounds like you're continuing on. You're not biting at whatever stink bait they've got here.
Yeah.
Would you like to go upstairs or downstairs?
Try up.
Yeah.
Okay. You catch a lot of glances as you walk through this main drinking hall of the ship, and you start making your way upstairs. The music gets even louder, and you hear the sounds of like feet tramping and stamping and fox-trotting about. And upstairs, there is just like a gala going on. And it's a veritable, well, if they didn't have, if it weren't for their clothes, you'd probably call it an orgy. It's like a bunch of termites dropped onto hot coals. They're just like it's like a mosh pit going on.
Oh golly!
Oh,
Playing, and they're screaming, and they've got some kind of, you imagine it's some kind of magical effect, which is amplifying the sound and distorting it out.
Headbanger's ball.
A drummer, and when he drums, it sounds like these like sustained claps of thunder. Go 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 go. And there's just a mash of bodies.
Drake's gonna lean over to Lykar and speak loud enough so only Lykar can hear. This one wonders: are they attempting to summon something?
Yeah, this place is crazy.
This one has to agree.
Is there anywhere that looks like we could try and maybe like sit down and maybe talk to somebody, or is it just like complete chaos up here?
It's really loud. In order to talk to Drake, you have to lean in close, and you're like, I don't think we can manage to talk to anybody in here. Or whatever it is you want to say, but you have to yell right in his ear for him to be able to hear you.
Go, 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 go. Go.
Maybe we should try down.
Yes,
Yeah.
This one greatly agrees to
Yes.
that.
We're gonna go downstairs.
Drake's gonna like rub his ears softly.
Slams right into you and like falls onto the ground, and he has like these tattoos across his face, and he has literally a fish hook piercing his lip, and he's like spitting out some blood and cursing, and he got like knocked over. So you leave and you're heading downstairs?
Yeah, we're gonna try the downstairs. Oh my god.
All right. So you go down, and now you're going into what must have been like, the ship's hold in prior times. It's not quite as big. It's actually the quietest area. And there's a thick smoke in the air, a very sweet smelling smoke. You see a few groups of people, mostly humans. It's dim down here. There's literally 2 tallow candles burning. That's it. There's a few groups, and they're all smoking, and there's a couple open tables and chairs. The chairs aren't pushed in. They're just kind of strewn. And you just see people lounging, and they're talking to each other. Others aren't even talking. They're just like...
More drug addicts.
Oh, great. We entered the drugged in.
Yeah, drug addict methods. Now you drug addict.
Oh, that's right. I remember those guys. I joined right when we in the middle of that little arc.
A woman who's wearing very heavy makeup, human woman in heavy makeup, she like saunters next to you. Hi.
Hi.
I've never seen you before. Do you need a tour?
No, thank you. That would be Robin.
Who am
The
I
dumb
robbing?
bird is not here.
Who am I robbing? I'm not robbing anyone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, it's a female Jack Sparrow.
No, we're just going to brush past her and go sit down somewhere. And I'm not sure this is really working out the best here. This is like complete chaos in here.
Yeah.
It's either like
we either
headbangers
have
ball or it's
drug addict
I so wish Robin
or the
was here
smoke
right
den.
Did you? Yeah, I'm not there.
Yeah, this is
So Drake and Lykar are essentially a little out of their element, is what it looks like, and they're not quite sure what to do. The other three of you had been making your way here. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, again, you hear the sounds of chattering, of music. It seems a lively place. A pretty large ship. It certainly was in its heyday.
Oh, this is
And-
on a ship.
Well, it's a ship that's on land. It's at the center of the village,
Oh, gotcha.
and it's
Gotcha.
converted into a tavern of sorts.
Okay.
And it's like half of the whole settlement must be here all at one time.
I'm gonna
So
look
the-
at the
The
Oh,
three of
sorry.
you enter through the front door, and imagine everything that I've described to them already.
I'm gonna look at the captain. and say-
Belching, half orc and all.
I'm gonna look at the captain and say, "Oh wow, this is quite the party they're having right here, don't you think?"
Captain Noxiqual scans the room. He's looking for something, Esper, people that perhaps might look a little down on their luck. Perhaps they might be sitting off by themselves drinking. People that might be potential crew.
Are Drake and
And-
Lykar sitting by themselves drinking?
we're on the
down-
bottom.
we're downstairs
downstairs.
looking around for
Anything really at this point.
Esper, I guess it's hard for me to really say, but like as a captain, I know how to obviously I've done recruiting for my
Mhm.
ship before. I'm looking for people that might be looking for work, and perhaps there's something about them that I can identify.
Also, while he's looking for that, Robin actually is going to be looking for sort of more of people, how does it sort of shady people in the corners or talking in a way where they're not trying.
Everywhere you look, you see at least 2d6 shady people.
People.
Oh
people
yeah.
There's
like himself.
there's 20
Fair enough.
corners in this place.
Yeah,
It's
fair enough.
made out of corners.
Okay, so some immediate things strike you, Noxiqual. One, the half orc belches in your general direction. Well, it's Noxy fucking Qual.
Do I know who
You're
that
still
guy is?
alive?
Do I know who he is, Esper?
I mean, he's no one of repertoire with you. Maybe you've seen him before.
Okay. Well. Look, it's the town drunk. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that you're still alive.
You do see at one of the main feast tables someone of note. You've probably met him before. His name is Manny Krankus. He's essentially a thug boss. That's the best way to describe him. He hires out mercenaries, hitmen, thieves, black market dealers. You can go to him to get stolen goods. You can get smugglers hired through him. The way this place runs is you just kind of, if you can be the boss, you are a boss, I guess I should say. There's not really a centralized government or anything.
No, that makes sense.
Everyone just kind of does what they. Those
it's a free
they
place.
do what you do. What you will. You do what you may here.
Correct, and so
He could
with that
arrange. Maybe Frankus could arrange some things for you.
gotcha. So he's definitely someone that I'm keeping in mind. But what about who runs the place, like the bar or whatever? I assume they have a lot of sway, as many of these sort of port places, like in the Caribbean and such. Usually, whoever ran the bar, whoever had that sort of control over that, they had information and sort of hold on the town. So
Mhm.
is that someone different than this guy?
There is much dispute over who owns Lady Luck. It depends on who you ask. There is not really an official decree on that.
I'm
The
asking you, Esper.
two main authority figures in this town would be the two pirate captains.
Okay.
But there are some other minor crime bosses, such as Manny Crankus. There's another guy, Billy the Burnt. He's here as well. He's got a table posted up at the other end of the room.
All right, then. Basically, I guess I'll go look for Drake and Lykar, see what luck they've had. I find you guys downstairs, and I say, what are you guys doing down here?"
They got thrown out of the party. Can't you tell, Captain?
This place is one of the worst places I've ever been in. I'd rather run the ship by myself than hire half of these people.
One of the worst places you've been to. Look how much fun everyone's having, Lykar.
Quiet.
My apologies.
Some guy like just blows chunks.
I suppose that I should probably mention that the last time you all saw Card, he was headed upstairs.
Okay.
Nice.
The opium lady is pilfering the pockets of the passed out spewing guy.
I'm gonna look over. I'm gonna look over at her and be like, "Hey, what are you doing over there?"
Why? I've done everything that needs to be done, and I'm going to bed now.
I'm going to look at everyone and be like, "This is a very interesting place, I have to say. I kind of like it here. Our ship should be more like this, Captain. It's more fun."
Yes, you should stay here.
All right, look. I clearly didn't expect you to have difficulties with this, but perhaps it's my own fault. I realize that you're all very new to being on the ship. It's only been a few months, I guess, since Lykar joined. But anyways, tomorrow, let's settle in for the night. When Cap is awake tomorrow, I'll speak with him, and perhaps he can provide the names of some folk who are looking to board a ship and hire on.
Captain, I agree with you, but where did Card go?
I saw him heading upstairs.
Carderock, you have made your way up into the stomping hall, where you see a very peculiar band, including center stage is a half-orc drummer who's got some kind of magic-enhanced drums and is sending the crowd into a veritable frenzy. If they had weapons out, it would be like two armies clashing together. It'd be like a slaughter. There are a couple of fists being thrown, but other than some guys getting slugged and clocked, it doesn't look like anyone is suffering major injuries. A guy with his head shaved gets kind of like knocked, and he like half slams into you.
So it's a Friday night. Yeah, it's Friday night. So yeah, Card walks in doing that little dance maneuver thing, like Ace Ventura in the Cannibal Corpse scene from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and sidles his way up to whoever seems like the most interesting source of rumors in the establishment.
Blood of the gods, slake my palate. Age of demons will arise.
Yeah, is there anybody particularly noteworthy aside from the band themselves?
Roll a d20 for me.
Alrighty. Just unmodified?
Yep.
12.
There is one person here that you've spoken to once before at a port in Grenadoa years ago. He has a snake tattoo that goes around his neck as if it's choking him. And his name, you're trying to remember his name. It starts with a W. It was like Wallace or Willie. You'll go with Wallace probably.
Is that you, Wallace?
It's Wally! Oh my
Thing
God,
hasn't
it's
gone
Carderock
yet.
Noctis! Man, what have you been up to?
Oh, you know, a little of this, a little of that. I got knighted.
What?
I'm a knight.
You're a knight? Why the hell did you do that for?
Fame and glory. What else?
God, man, I thought you died.
I thought you died.
Oh no, I couldn't work in Grenadilla anymore. There's too much rules and laws there. That and I probably shouldn't go back if I want to stay out of prison. But oh my God, and he like gives you this big hug. He's like, God, you wearing armor, man? God.
So out of curiosity, who is this guy exactly?
He's a sailor that you met one night drinking in Grenadilla.
Fair. All right, fair. Yes, of course I'm wearing armor. You not?
God, you really are a knight? Is that a sword? Are you gonna kill someone?
Well, not here, I hope.
He's got a sword. What?
Some people kind of like back away as this guy shouts that out.
I slide my blade in his guts and spill his viscera upon the floor.
Yeah, I got a sword.
Do you actually raise your sword up?
No, he just like joins in the revelry.
A drunk guy tries to draw your sword.
Oh,
Make a help me out, everybody. So this guy's making a sleight of hand check. Carderock makes a
Dex.
I'll give you two choices. One is perception. It's like you see it so fast you can just move out of the way.
okay.
Or two is sleight of hand contested against his to like outmaneuver him and swat it away.
I'm gonna go with perception as I am better with that.
Okay.
Cool. I
14.
probably needed to do that because never mind. Yep. So that's a 24 total.
Okay, so you notice the chap in time and you like move out of the way and he kind of half stumbles. And everyone kind of gives a look like, whoa, he just tried to put his hands on a knight's sword.
I'm gonna back up a little bit and let's see what happens in this situation.
Hey, can you guys still hear me? Hello?
You're back.
Oh,
I
sorry.
can hear you.
I'm gonna try and fix my webcam. My bad.
I'm gonna back up a little bit and I'm gonna motion like I'm trying to start a wall of death and then just sort of back up a little further so that the two sides will crash into each other and I'll just like be able to slide out the door.
So you go back down into the ground floor.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go back to what once must have been crew quarters back in the day. It serves as like the main drinking hall, feasting hall, etc. Might be a little bit of gambling going on in one corner as well, rolling some bones. Wally has not followed you.
All right.
Were you wanting him to come with you?
I mean, potentially, or if there are any other like particularly burly sorts up there at the pirate death metal show, just like get the the guy in the chicken suit and like the serious moshers only, none of the hardcore kids doing karate in the pit.
Okay, so are you wanting to like grab Wally and take him to like show him to Nox?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean you can do it. He just didn't follow you.
Sure.
Okay, so everybody's down in the sub level, and Noxiqual, you see Carderock making his way towards you with this guy who has literally like a python tattoo, not an amazing tattoo, mind you, black and white, around his neck as if this snake is like coiling and asphyxiating him.
We all see this, right?
Yeah. He comes in like kind of like you're strutting alongside Carderock. He's pretty sweaty as well.
I'm gonna walk up to Con and be like, Carderock, didn't know you had a date.
I found a crew member.
A crew member? I'm gonna look him up and down and say, that's ambitious.
Is this what's keeping you alive nowadays? Smack.
Well, more as though I'm keeping him alive these days. And looks around for Noxiqual. There's that one over there. He knows how to make money,
Oh, moldy tits of Zuckmoy, it's Noxiqual.
Indeed.
Whoa, hey,
Who is
hey,
this?
hey. Oh, look, it wasn't me, all right? I wasn't there the night that your wife was, with all the fingers.
I'm going to look at Nocturne and say, Nocturne, you had a wife?
I think you're confusing me with someone else.
No. Tell me more about your
Okay,
wife.
so then I definitely wasn't there because it wasn't even you.
What's your name again?
I'm Wally. What do you want?
I look at Card, just like arch an eyebrow. Why is Wally here interested in a job?
Well, that was my thought anyway.
Oh, work. Yeah, I mean, that's why I live here, right? I got a lot of experience under my belt, you could say.
Is he lying?
Drake's going to take a small metal bearing, bounce it off the table at Wally's, and see what he does.
You just flick it at him to see if he evades it.
Bounce it off the table so it's not shooting straight at him, so it kind of has a wobble to it.
Make a dexterity check.
Not the best.
None of us have been
13.
rolling well today.
I'll save our rolls for when it counts.
16.
16. He tries to evade. You smack him. It just blinks off of his chest.
I'm gonna smile and laugh a little bit. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna look at Drake and be like, Drake, that's no way to treat our new friend.
Drake's gonna look over Robin and hold up another one.
I'm going to look and be like, I don't know if you want to do that. The last 2 times you tried, you missed.
This
So
one has only
Carderock
missed once.
has acquired a crewman. He seems willing for work and a seaworthy fellow.
How much is he willing to work for the standard going rate?
Yeah.
Okay.
What you pay is just as good or even slightly better than what he can find around Dusk Isle.
Does he know how to sail a ship?
Yep.
Okay, then he's hired.
Oh boy.
Wait, we're hiring him?
I mean, we'll see if he's, competent first, obviously.
I'm going to look and be like, Wally, I think we're going to get along just fine. You seem like a nice little fellow, and if you're a friend of Card's, you're a friend of mine.
Yeah, Card and I, we go way back.
Oh, you'll have to tell me some stories about you and Card sometime.
Yes, way back. Nox, if I may, a moment. Now, I'll have you know that I barely know this man sober from a long time ago, and, should he betray us or...
So what you're saying is you take full responsibility for him. Got it.
I shall be the one to push him off the boat myself, yes.
I'm gonna be while Card is doing that. I'm gonna be chatting with Wally and be like, so Wally, what kind of fun is here? Something interesting sounds like it's happening upstairs.
Yeah, man. It's stomping time. Come on. He grabs you by your clothes and starts pulling you upstairs.
I'm actually gonna go with him. I'm gonna look back at everyone else. I'm gonna say, I'll be back in a bit.
Oh,
All right.
Carl will go back up there. He'll join him. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, when Card comes down, I'm gonna be like, oh yes, Card, let's go have some fun.
Yes,
So-
yes. Now remember, go in a circle. When they do a wall of death, you smash into the other team. You try to stay on your feet and don't do any of those fancy monk moves. It's not dancing. It's
Oh, please don't compare me with Drake. I'm not a monk.
All right, so yeah, Wally rather, he gets down there and he starts jumping and pumping his fists and making his way into the press of all the bodies. The music continues on, thrumming and roaring as ever.
Is there any alcohol I can drink up here? Is there
The only alcohol you see would be in cups of people that are actually drinking.
All right.
If you want to go get something, you go down to the
yeah,
main
I would
floor.
have brought something up with me. Yeah, I want to bring up a lot.
Okay, so since you haven't brought your own alcohol, you're actually going to somebody's table and buying from them.
Yeah.
So do you want to play that out real quick? Because it might be of interest to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go up and be like, do you guys have any alcohol for me? I'm trying to have a fun time tonight, and so are some of my friends up there.
All right, so I'll just say that you're speaking to a halfling fellow who's at a feast table of Manny Krankus, who is a thug boss type of fellow.
Oh, is this the same halfling that Lykar nearly tripped over?
Yeah, sure. It's one of his guys.
All right.
So this guy is a stocky, pudgy fellow. Looks like he's just constantly in a bad mood. And then the halfling is just one of the people at his table.
You didn't bring anything to drink of your own? You gotta bum off us, huh?
Well, I'm gonna maybe get a little closer to Brandon. I'm gonna say, I didn't want to bum off of you. I was going to offer some money, but I mean, you all seem like a lovely lot. I'd love to get to know you a bit better, and maybe we could go have some fun up there. Drinks on me.
You elves flirt with everyone. Wait, are you in the Storm's crew?
Oh, yes, I am actually. I'm one of the more notable members.
Oh, God. Well, in that case, I better give you something. Here.
And he starts pouring you a wine, and he hands the cups into your hand.
Let me introduce you to the boss.
Oh, the boss. I'm going to take the wine and walk over to the boss with him.
Manny, this is, what's your name?
Robin.
Robin the Robber of Storm's crew.
Yes, it's nice to meet you.
What are you doing here?
Oh, we're just, having a good time right now, trying to meet some new friends. Perhaps, what are you doing here?
I live here.
You live
Are
here?
Are you looking for work or something?
Oh, me? I don't know exactly. I don't get paid much on Noxiqual's queue. What are you offering?
Well, I've got a couple different jobs out at the moment. We haven't seen adventurers around here in a while, not with the strange weather these past couple months.
Strange weather these past couple months? What's going on? I'm going to take some drink of my wine.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm actually
Robin would know. Are you just messing with him?
Would Robin know? Okay.
To you, it's just obvious he's talking about these blizzards and the mists of the Merqueen and Dagon attacks.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'll actually just keep playing it though, like I don't know what's going on. Try and get more information.
You must have just came from the mainland.
Yes, absolutely.
We've been getting hit by all kinds of nasty winter storms. Something is messing with the sea as well. The mists. Yeah, it wasn't misty and foggy when you were coming here.
No, it was a bit misty and foggy, but we don't.
You must just came straight from Grenadoa today.
Yes, absolutely.
Make a deception check. I just want to see how well you're kind of sleazing this guy.
Let me get my thing up real fast. I'm good at this. Just don't roll like a 1. That's actually really good. That's I think it's ×2. 8 plus 8. That's 16, and then Dex is also charisma, so that's a 22.
22. Okay. So yeah, let's just keep rolling with it. He thinks you just literally just came from Grenadoa sailing out this morning. He's like, I mean, today's not the worst day. It's pretty bad, but it's been much worse all throughout the last month.
Oh wow, yes, we were hearing some rumors about perhaps a ship of some kind or some lost ruins. Perhaps perhaps maybe that's causing this. Do you know anything about that?
A ship of some kind?
Yeah, some sort of ship graveyard almost.
A ship graveyard.
Yeah, wrecking ships and perhaps something dealing with that. What is that? We heard about some sort of worshipping some religious folk up there. I'm gonna sort of point in the direction where the Captain Noxiqual, me and Card were at.
I don't know what you're talking about, kid.
Is he being truthful here? Do I know?
You can make an insight check.
Yeah, I'll do an insight. Insight's what? Wisdom? Oh,
yep.
Man. Yeah, it's only a 5.
5. Okay. So yeah, let's keep rolling with it.
All right.
He's taking a swig off of his cup.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be like drinking.
Hold on. And like someone like comes up to him and is like talking with him. They have kind of a bit of an argument, and he's like, "No, look, you're not understanding." And he like kind of they browbeat each other for a bit, and then this other guy kind of like stomps off, and he's like, "God, they're always trying to work me over."
Hey, what's going on there? Something the matter?
Nothing is going on. It's supposed to be.
Would you? I'd love to know. I mean, I'm quite skilled myself. Perhaps I could take care of your problem, but I would have to know more about it, of course.
I've already caught a contract on it, kid. Can't talk about it. But what brought you to Dusk Isle? You're looking for a ship graveyard. I don't know.
Yeah.
There must be a ship graveyard somewhere in the wide world, but I ain't heard of it.
Really? You haven't heard of it? I mean, I feel like it might even be causing some of these storms. You must know something. You seem to be quite an intelligent fellow. You seem to know a lot of people.
Yeah. Why don't you give me a bouquet of flowers, too? Look, I don't know about a graveyard of ships. I don't even know what that means.
Mm-hmm. Well, have you...
Something's been pushing coalescence up, and they've been raiding here and there, but we're getting that taken care of. That's beneath your storm crew.
Beneath us? No, I don't think anything's beneath us. And even if it's beneath, say, the captain, I'm always interested in new things. And if you...
I wouldn't insult Noxiqual by asking him to help watch out for coalescence raids.
Oh, don't worry. I don't think he would care much either way. But, I obviously care, and I would love to get to know you better. You do seem that you must know something that's going on in this area. Something unusual, perhaps.
Well, so just to clarify here, seems like you're just trying to get some talk of the town out of him, right?
Yeah, exactly. Something that like maybe not everyone knows.
Well, as always, Savius and Cap are both eager to get their hands on the treasure, but that's been lost for a couple of generations, more than that. Hell, my grandfather used to talk about wanting to find the hidden vault of Grist Reed.
I'm gonna take a big drink out of my wine and put it down and look at him and be like, "Treasure, you say, and this hidden vault of Grisdeek. I would love to know more about this. I love these sort of stories."
Mm-hmm. And you can go ahead and roll a history check just so we can confirm what Robin might already know about all this.
That is a natural 20.
Woo! All right. Here, let me try one of my banners. I guess it's not really a critical hit, but it's a natural 20. All right, awesome. So what does that give you as a total?
As a total, history's intelligence, so that is 24.
24?
Yes.
Okay. You know some things. You really do. So Grist Reed was that original pirate that you could say settled Rockerstad. I mean, in the beginning, he was just using this island as a hideout. He found a cave here, and there was monstrous spiders in this cave. He and his crew, they killed the spiders, cleared it out, and used it as their hideout. And eventually, they set up like a little hamlet, just a thorp here, and it grew over time. Nowadays, it's what you are seeing before you. Mm-hmm. And his ship, Lady Luck, is this tavern that you're in. Now, he apparently had some particularly good plunder in his treasure hoard, as many famous pirates are known to have. Something happened with that cave, that vault of his. The spiders came back. A different variety of spider, a kind of magical one, and they had a lot of problems with it, and he really wasn't able to access his treasure anymore. It got that dangerous. And he hired a party of adventurers even at one point to go down and clear out these supernatural spider infestation. And the adventurers died. And no one would take the job again. He couldn't get them cleared out. With that good of a roll, you even know a detail. They have some magical webbing that cannot be burned. It's not susceptible to fire.
That's good to know.
And he sealed off the treasure. He sealed off the entrance to the treasure hoard. So there's some secret entrance somewhere in this village that leads you down to this spider cave. And somewhere down the spider cave, there's his treasure hoard.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two current pirate captains that are kind of like the top dogs of this town, Sovius and Cap. They both really want this treasure, and other people do as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna sort of like go up to him and be like, "Yes, this treasure I've heard is quite famous, but no one's been able to find it. But you must know something."
Yeah, you're just gonna take 10 steps out the front door, turn to the right, look for the weather vane, and it's down the well. Go down all the way to the bottom of the well. If you feel like you can't breathe, you know you're getting close. When you feel like you're dead, just stay there. It's gonna open up.
I'm gonna look at him like very confused and concerned about this. Like, is that actually how to get that? I don't think that's true. Otherwise, one of the captains would have got that already. They're quite great, right?
You're not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, are you? Look, if I knew the way to find a secret treasure, I would have grabbed it myself. And if I hadn't grabbed it myself, I wouldn't just blurt it out to you.
But what if I'm here to help? I mean,
I'm half-orc saunters by you like, another elf! And like intentionally bumps you in the shoulder.
I'm gonna sort of like take it, and I'm gonna like with like extreme dexterity sort of like pull out my dagger and like look him dead in the eye and say, "Do you really want to mess with me right now?"
No, but not because of you, because of him. He points at the crime boss guy.
I'm gonna look at the boss and be like,
elves are trying to reclaim the forest.
Wait, was that the halfling that said that?
Just some other drunk person said that.
I'm gonna look at the orc and say, "Well, I'm trying to have a conversation right now, so why don't you beat it?"
I'll beat your mother.
My mother. I'm gonna sort of actually.
I've eaten elf ears roasted on a spit.
And say, "You may have eaten elf ears, but I've killed more orcs than you can think."
I hate orcs, even worse than elves. So I'm glad for that.
Where'd
you kill them at? What clan?
This is a half orc, by the way, right?
It is.
All right. Did we know the name of that clan with the Nagas?
Longtooth.
Longtooth. I'm gonna look at him dead in the eye. He's probably a bit. How tall is he?
He is actually a shorter half orc. He's not even quite 6 feet tall. He's a little shy of 6 feet.
Okay, so he's still a bit tall. I'm 5'7", so I'm gonna.
Okay, he's got like 2 inches on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll still like look up though a bit and say, Longtooth.
Longtooth. That clan is the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. I don't even know if they're really orcs. They're like snake worshippers, blue skin. I mean, a blue orc.
I'm gonna say, see, you might be laughing, but they at least had a few cells of intelligence in their head. They could actually have a nice conversation and not just get drunk and argue with someone who could kick their ass.
Don't try those attempts to intimidate me, kid. It ain't gonna work.
Oh, really? Well, what about this? And then I'm going to like stab him in the hand.
Make an attack roll.
I hope this works. It's not very good. That's 15.
You stab him in the hand. Are you just like giving him a prick, or are you actually like through his hand?
I wanted to go straight through his hand.
Like through between the bones and everything, huh? Ah! All right. So we should probably put this into initiative.
I feel like that escalated quickly.
Yeah, let's put this into initiative. So
God damn it!
I'm gonna have Robin and the half orc roll here.
See, well, again, let me clarify why I'm doing this. How to game now. Since the scene of this area did, like Esper was saying, seems like it's whoever like stands up and is like trying to like be the best and stuff like that. So it's like I kind of want to make sure these people know like I'm not fucking joking around, you know, like you can't fucking intimidate, or you can't intimidate me either. Sorry.
Sorry, children.
I get where you're coming from, Robin, but
I might have messed up. We'll see.
Okay, go for it.
I'm doing initiative.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
I imagine you have won on initiative. All right, you act first. So he's got a knife in his hand. It's already starting to bleed, so he's wounded already. What do you do? He's trying to like get the knife out of his hand and like get his axe drawn.
Yeah, as he's trying to get the knife out of his hand, is his like other hand maybe like on the table or anything like that, or is he? Oh, I guess he's using his other hand. Yeah, I'll as he's trying to do that, I'm going to just take my other knife or take my like pull out another dagger quickly and then just let me think. I'm gonna take and just like stab him in the thigh.
All right, give me a roll.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's better than last time. So that's a 21.
21 is a hit. You stab him in the thigh.
And
Can we hear the screaming?
Probably,
Yes.
yeah.
Drake is shooting up,
especially
going to
Drake
see
can
what the
hear
hell's going on.
As he's screaming too, I don't know if I could do this since it's a little living. Like I want to sort of like ground by a collar or anything, like pull him down a bit to my level and look him down in the eye and say, with my like hand still on the thigh dagger, like twisting it a bit and just being like, "Get
it's in the
out
bone.
of
It's
my
in the bone.
face!" And I'm gonna like let go and like rip the dagger out.
He falls onto the ground and he's like shouting for his friends to come and help him. A group of like 4 guys, 2 of them are half orc, 2 of them are humans. They're like immediately there by him. They get this look on their face like, should we attack this elf?
And Drake said that he's
high elf, right?
Drake is.
I'm a half elf.
Yeah, you're like this dainty. Actually, like how would you describe?
I'm very weak.
You're a dainty, pretty boy.
Basically, yeah.
You're like a porcelain skinned.
White hair, white skin, like very.
Yeah.
I don't look like I could be. I would be doing stuff like this. Yeah.
So I'm gonna just do a quick kind of like morale check / they are sizing you up, right?
Yeah.
How long would it take for Drake to get into
They actually are more concerned about their friend. You just pulled some like super quick hand knife work that really put them at a pause, and they're like going to help their friend and like wrap this like probably severed artery that he has in his leg and keep their friend from bleeding to death on the floor here.
And Drake is on his way to me as well, right?
Drake, you're now there with him.
Yeah. As soon as he sees these guys, he's going to pop behind one, place a hand on the shoulder, so I'm guessing I'm going to need an attack roll, and do a stunning strike.
Yes.
Okay, now you don't see that any of them are actually attacking or threatening Robin. They're more attending the half-orc that Robin just double stabbed.
Okay.
Are you still wanting to strike them?
At least put a hand on one of their shoulders and tighten the grip so they know there's someone else.
Ah! So yeah, a half-orc guy like
Drake is going to
around.
look at Robin and go, "This one wonders if the dumb bird can't find trouble."
I'm gonna look up and be like, "They threatened my mother," as I'm sort of wiping the dagger off and like glaring at the orc down there. I'm gonna say like, I'm gonna look at the friend soon and say, "You know, you really shouldn't be around idiots like this guy." And I'm pointing at the half orc on his knees.
Mm-hmm. They get him bandaged up and peeled off the floor and give you some nasty scowls, and they're exiting this group of, so it's 5 of them total.
As I see them start walking away, I'm gonna like stop them and be like, "Oh, can I have that dagger back that's stuck in his hand?"
They toss the dagger over.
Yeah, I'll snatch it and wipe the blood off and put it away.
Manny Krankus, the crime boss guy, looks at you. The halfling still has like his jaw dropped open, and Manny says, "Never insult a man's mother. He might take that personally, and you'll regret it for the rest of your life."
I'm gonna sort of nod my head and say, "I agree with you. My mother was quite lovely, actually."
Oh well, I'm sure she was.
Yep. And I'm gonna like take another like pour. I'm gonna start pouring more wine for myself, and I'm gonna like fill his up as well.
Sure. All right. So you grab his own wine jug and pour you both some drinks, and he's just got this. Well, I'm listening. He's listening.
Holy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Perhaps we could discuss this in a more private area.
What exactly are you wanting to discuss here?
The treasure, rumors. I know you know something. With this argument that you had with this one man and this orc or half orc coming up to me in such an aggressive manner. Your name must be known around here. People know you. People have.
Everyone knows everyone in Rockerstad.
Fair, but I'm gonna sort of like pull out my dagger like slowly and just like put it on the table and say, I'd really like to get to know you better, and I'm sure that my captain would as well.
Are you threatening me?
Don't think of it as a threat. Think of it more as an arrangement between friends. And then at the same time, I'm also going to look at Drake, who I'm assuming is still standing there. Or are you still standing there as well, Drake?
Drake is standing there.
Where am I during all this? I have to interject.
Noxiqual.
Yeah, everybody, you tell me, where are you positioned?
I mean, I assumed I was with the majority of the group.
I thought we were down the stairs, and yeah, it's still.
Yeah, I think Noxiqual could have seen all of this happen at least, right?
Well, Drake heard the shouts of pain from upstairs and bolted up just to make sure that none of the rest of the party was in danger.
Okay, so Nox, Carderock, and Lykar, when you saw Drake bolt up there when he heard something, did you all follow?
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So everybody is there. Robin is just the one who's like in the front, actually at this feast table.
Other than Card, who's upstairs in the mosh pit.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
You're muted, Adam.
Did you want to do something?
He was down there at the moment, though. Oh,
Okay.
He did go back up, but then, well, okay, he might have come down though when Robin didn't show back up because he thought Robin was coming back up.
Okay, so everybody is there, but Robin is the one who's like up front, who's interacting with Manny Krankis, who's at the feast table.
Drake would be close by as well.
Okay.
Well, I'd feel like I'd be like, "What the hell was that, Robin?"
Yeah, I'm going to look back and sort of like bow like my head a little bit while I'm sitting at the table and say, 1,000 apologies, Captain. I'm going to look at like sort of the direction where like everything happened. I'm going to say, point over there with my thumb and say, there was a half orc over there who made fun of my mother, and I didn't really take too kindly of it. He seemed a bit annoying. I think I need to.
He's a town idiot. Don't pay him any mind.
Well, at least he won't be an idiot anymore.
I do want Robin to make an intimidation check against Manny Krankis.
Would it possibly be with advantage since my whole crew's here now and like Drake's here? I don't know if that. It's okay if
no
advantage. Okay, no advantage. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at intimidation. This is pretty good actually.
Sorry. Drake's not saying anything in an aggressive manner. He's looking at Robin like he's an idiot still.
Oh, actually, this isn't too good. I thought I had expertise in intimidation. I do not. It's still a 14. It's not amazing, but it's not horrible.
Okay. The halfling looks at the dagger and your gesture and just goes, woo! Like, whoa. There's a lot of other people at this table, other thug type fellows, and they're all like throwing glances at each other. Nox is there, so it's kind of tense. It's a bit tense, it's a bit awkward, and there's a lot of egos suddenly putting each other in a kind of checkmate situation.
Way to go, Robin.
Manny looks back to Robin. I don't know what it is you hope to gain from this, but don't make any rash moves. I'll do what I can.
What exactly is going on here?
Captain Nox.
Manny.
Your man here is asking about leads regarding old Grist Greed's treasure hoard.
That old thing.
I keep saying this name wrong. Grist Reed. Grist Reed.
I wrote it down too. Yeah, Grist Reed.
I'm telling you, I don't know the entrance to the cave. If I did, you think I would be holed up here at Lady Luck, the Rockerstad?
As he
have
says
myself
that,
a proper fort.
as he says that, I'm going to look to the captain and be like, Captain, if I may, I don't think that he could get the treasure even if he knew where it was. It's quite guarded.
What's your point, Robin?
I think that he's not telling us everything. I think even if he doesn't know, I feel like he knows someone who knows.
Why are you prying into this?
Because it's money, it's treasure.
It's not what we're here to do, Robin. We can't keep getting sidetracked and you stirring up trouble like a hive of hornets here in this place.
I'm going to sort of look back at you, but then sort of like look down.
The
a bit.
halfling says,
Well, if there isn't, 2 or 3 good shankings in a night, it's just no fun at all.
Well, now, Nox, is that not a little bit harsh to call him a nest of hornets? I'd say, yellow jackets myself, hardly a hornet.
I was trying to be polite, but regardless, I don't foresee any need to inquire about the treasure at this time. Perhaps once we've completed our business, we might settle that matter for the 2 captains. I'm sure they're the ones, if anyone, that would have stakes in this matter.
I'm going to sort of like nod my head and I'll pick up my dagger from off the table and resheath it. Standing up, after I stand up, I'm going to take my wine cup and I'm going to drink all of it. And then I'm going to take his wine cup and like drink the rest of his wine cup as well.
he looks like he is containing boiling rage.
I'm going.
I will cuff Robin by the neck and start marching him towards the door. I give Manny a look and just like a little shake of the head. And I say, back to the ship. We'll come back in the morning.
I'm gonna
once
sort of,
tempers have cooled.
Like, being put on, be like, Captain, you could like mumbling.
Yeah, like basically, I'm just marching you along. All right, everyone, we're head back to the ship till morning, unless you have something else that you need to take care of.
Oh, could I? There was something I actually wanted to go do, and wanted to talk. Oh.
You've done enough for today.
Yeah, no, Robin, you're the only one that's not included in that. You've done quite enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
This one is ready to return to the ship.
Okay, so you all hike it back to the ship. It takes you a good half hour or so to get back down that trail, slowly going down an elevation to the little port cove where the Storm's Eye is moored.
Okay. Is the what was it, Lockquinth? Or
the Coalinth.
Coalinth, yes.
The Coalinth display is not happening any longer. There's just a few lingering souls about the docks.
It's fine. I think we should wait till morning, and then we can do a couple other things, and then maybe go look for some Coalinths.
What happened to that creature, the goblin folk that was in the water?
You don't see it anymore. And a lot of the people that were here having their fun are not here any longer. Really, there's just like what seems to be a few, like on the actual docks are just a few people. You imagine there's crewmen on board the ships, but it's quieter here now. You just hear a few voices chatting in the night.
When we're back on the on our ship with like all of us on our ship, I actually want to like go to Noxiqual's cabin and sort of knock on the door.
What is it?
May I come in, Captain?
Can it wait till morning? Tired.
No, I'm gonna say no. I think we should discuss this now.
Fine, come in.
I'm gonna walk.
Sorry to interject. I just don't want to forget. I will award Robin half milestone.
Oh, worth.
Throwing his party under the bus for that half milestone.
I didn't need all of you.
I say we take him out and steal all his milestones.
I mean, act like you wouldn't do
I'll
it.
divvy them up among you all.
Yeah.
But no, once I walk in, I actually I'm gonna sort of like look sort of like when I walk in, I'm just sort of like look to the side a bit, like sort of like I don't want to make eye contact because I don't want to like what I'm about to say is something that I don't really want to say, but I'm gonna say I apologize for my actions, Captain.
And why is it that you feel the need to apologize for your actions, Robin?
Sounds like I'm talking to my kids.
I know, right? That's kind of what I was going for there. I was
Jeez,
like,
this is yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not mad, Robin. I'm just disappointed.
That's exactly what I was thinking when Nox
Yeah.
like grabbed him by the back of his neck.
yeah,
and
that's what I was
We're
thinking.
going home.
That's what,
Like-
no, you don't have to pull, Captain.
But I want to stay here and intimidate thug bosses.
Yeah, that does make sense. Robin is like has that like
being
little
captain
job.
being captain is like being a dad sometimes. That's
You
why.
have a responsibility, Noxiqual. But
Yeah.
anyway, so
Sorry, I brought you onto this crew and I can take you off it.
all right, but anyway, so when you say that, I'm going to again. I'm gonna say I let my temper get the best of me. I try not to do that often. He insulted my mother, and I didn't take too kindly to that. And I don't like it when people try and talk to me as if they're better than me.
Robin, there's a time for fighting, and when you have someone like that is insulting you, I can understand your reaction to resort to violence. I've been there. You may recall our time in Ravenswold when there was a certain group of men who accused you of stealing, and were not going to back down. Violence was the only way to get them to rethink their accusations. But I asked you when I had left the ship to not start trouble. I didn't think that was unreasonable.
Oh man, it's funny because I actually forgot about that. But like, and so would Robin. Actually, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna say, I know, Captain. I truly thought that he knew more than he was letting on, and when that half orc came up, just needed to prove a point that we are strong. We should be more notable, and people should know who we are more than they think they do. Know that we won't back down.
I don't begrudge you standing up and perhaps putting some people in their place now and then. But right now, Robin, we are balancing on the edge of a knife. We have a very narrow opportunity here. If we do anything wrong, all of us will plunge into the depths and our lives may be lost.
I'm gonna sort of nod my head in agreement and say, perhaps you're right, Captain. However,
Careless words, careless actions are going to doom us. We can't afford that right now, with the ship in the state that it is. I need you to be better, Robin. I need you to be what I hope you can be.
I'm gonna sort of nod my head and say, I agree, Captain. I apologize again. However, if I may, perhaps an idea. With the events that occurred, it does seem that you may have some problems with my loyalty. And although I am purely loyal to you, perhaps we could use that to our advantage. The other two captains are indeed looking for the treasure. And if I can get on one of their crews.
I like what you're suggesting, and I think that's not an unreasonable idea if that was our primary goal right now. Right now, we need to find the treasure that is sunk beneath the sea before we go on any other ventures. Otherwise, our opportunity may slip through our fingers. Once we return from that, I am willing to entertain the notion that we take this treasure from the two captains, as I am a captain myself and could lay claim to such.
You are correct as always, Captain. Well, I will leave you be. I'm gonna start.
Keep an eye and an ear out, but do not actively pursue this until we get back.
Aye, Captain. And then I'll walk out.
All right, good. All right, on to the next day.
So, the following morning comes. You all awaken in your various cabins and bunks on board the ship. It's still bitter cold. Snow is still coming down. It's not heavy snow, but there's flakes drifting in the air. The seas are rough still. Maybe it was pleasant being rocked to sleep, but when you have to get up and actually walk around, it's not pleasant, especially those who are not acclimated to life at sea. Mm-hmm. One of the first things that happens, surprisingly, is Lykar receives a message, an arcane message, by way of a sending spell. A voice appears to you, Lykar. Good morning. I am Dorian Keldon, Archmage of Divination of the Silver Citadel. Ooh. We know who you are, Lykar Tavantus. We want to speak with you in a civil fashion about the coming battle against the Mer Queen. You can respond. It has to be a shortish message, but you can reply back.
I would be open to speaking with you if terms are agreeable.
All right. You receive a second message pretty quickly after that, just a couple moments later. I'm incredibly pleased to hear that. When can you make your way to the Silver Citadel?
Well, the Silver Citadel is quite a distance, and we are also engaged in other activities at the moment. There is a chance I may be able to leave for a short time, but it may be a little bit.
And then again, I can come to you if that is agreeable. If you'll tell me your location, or I could scry upon you.
Well, I can give you my location. Do I just give it to him?
I know that this is a matter of some trust. If you would prefer to meet in somewhere that you feel is an open area or public area, name the location and I will see what I can do about coming to you.
Very well. Perhaps we could meet on the ship that I am currently on.
I'm running out of quarters for the payphone here.
Oh.
No, he has spell slots to go. You are aboard the Storm's Eye. Say yes, and we shall appear.
Yes.
Just a moment. Just a moment later, Noxiqual, you have Kobe beating on your door. Captain! There's wizards. They just appeared on the deck.
I love how everyone uses Noxiqual's name.
I just want to say that's when my anti-teleportation wards I set up 20 sessions ago go off and give them, and they're just bloody chunks of meat. No, I'm just and that's how we lost, a couple members of the Silver Citadel. No, just kidding.
Captain, you just lectured me about not using violence.
Oh, that was an automated defense. I can't help.
So Drake's up on deck when they show up, just looking at them.
Captain Noxiqual grabs a sword and runs on deck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would anyone
Ready
else
for a
have noticed
fight.
it aside
Well,
from
Lykar is going to go up there and be like, hold on a minute. These guys want to talk to me about something. They swear they're here on amiable terms.
I'll look them over and see if I know who's who.
So you said the guy's name is Dorian Kelvin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. So
Kelvin with a D, I thought. Right?
Oh,
yes,
Delvin.
Dorian Keldon.
Okay.
Give me 1 second as I'm pulling up the names here. I thought I had the document open.
can I assume that is Card and Robin still below deck or something when this happens? Because I don't know if we would have heard it or anything.
Well, Card is not below deck for long once he
Oh, okay.
starts to hear that.
Oh, when we have heard all this
yeah.
all this stuff? Okay. I didn't know if it was something that we would hear if we were I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I didn't know if because I know that Drake would have because he was up there, obviously Noxiqual and Lykar, but I didn't know if we would or not.
Give me just 1 second. I need to open up a document that I thought I already had open.
What are these documents you speak of, and what is that voice in my head?
Just your conscience speaking. You should listen to it more.
Not if it sounds like you, Drake. No, I don't want to listen to you. Last time I listened to you, you walked on a lot of traps, and it was very bad. Remember the arrows?
This one remembers us both being in the front.
Both? No, it was all your fault. I already explained this to you. I know that you didn't remember, but...
Then this one also remembered that you claimed you could do better.
Well, maybe if I could teleport in shadows, I could get around these things more easily. Maybe you should teach me how to do that. Why don't you, keeping all these secrets to yourself?
Does the dumb bird wish to learn my ways?
No, it
would be this one ways.
Hey, whatever happened to your little crow buddy there?
It's a raven, Lykar. Stop calling him a crow, and his name is Ethel.
Raven, crow. You're going to be eating crow soon.
Okay. Thank you for your patience. So apparently I have an NPC's document in my Ikoria folder, and I have a different NPC's document in my Land of Dreams and Nightmares folder. I should probably merge those together. Okay.
Probably a good
Apparently
idea.
Esper just took that time to write a quick backstory.
Yeah, that's really what it was. Esper, you weren't looking at
Actually,
anything.
I have this demi-lich skull that gives me all of my information. So hey man, quick, I need lore and backstories on these two. Okay. So appearing in Drake, you actually saw this. Appearing on the deck of the ship is this immediate teleportation effect. And there are 2 men wearing Archmage robes.
What's the weather like, out of curiosity?
Cold winter weather. Slightly snowing. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, overcast.
Drake's going to shadow step.
Not shadows. It's daytime.
Well, if it's snowing, then it shouldn't be daytime.
Hmm?
You said it was snowing.
It can snow in the daytime.
It can snow during the day. It's not shadowy illumination, but it is overcast and snowy. Shadow would be turn all the lights off in your room, and maybe you just have a candle.
Well, is it
nighttime? Bright.
Drake is okay. So then he's going to move quickly.
It's virtually impossible for it to be dim light outside during the day.
Okay, he's going to get between and place one hand on each, getting ready to suddenly strike both of them if need be. Because they just showed up on the deck of the ship.
So here's what you see. There are 2 Archmages wearing some pretty nice robes. One is holding an orb in his hand. He has a braided gray beard. And the other, I'm trying to remember when you came in the campaign. Okay, the other one is a middle-aged fellow dark brown hair and kind of a shorter, pointy beard. And he has a staff, and there are some etchings into the staff. Some sort of grim-looking etchings and a bit of bone attached to it. The older gentleman with the orb says, "Fear not, elf. We have not come to harm you or your crew. This is a matter of a dire situation, and we wish to speak with Lykar Telvantis.
I'll
I have
stand back.
already contacted him. He should be appearing."
This one would have recommended that you do not come straight to the deck, but to the docks, and then points to the dock.
I'm gonna, as I'm walking up like onto the deck, like I'm gonna be like, I'm guessing, is it like early morning?
It's morning time.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, wave my eyes and be like, oh, Lykar, can you like not bring random strangers onto a ship when I'm waking up?
So, Lykar, you make your way up on deck. So one of them you do recognize, Hansel Gekri, the Archmage of Necromancy. You've seen him 2 times. The first time you actually saw him on the field of battle leading an army of undead against a different army of undead in a great clash when you were not as powerful of a sorcerer.
Way back in the first official session of this
Yeah,
campaign.
exactly.
Back when Lykar was afflicted by a strange affliction.
Mhm.
And no, I don't mean his traveling companions.
The other time you saw Hansel Gekri was actually at the Clansmoot in Norgal's Rock. He came and met with dwarves and many other people at that great council meeting. So he's an Archmage of Necromancy, a very powerful figure. The other who just introduced himself is Dorian Keldon, Archmage of Divination. You know, there's an Archmage for each of the 8 schools of magic at the Silver Citadel. Lykar Telvantis.
Yes.
This has been a long time coming. I know your road has not been easy. The path has been full of many rocks and many thorns.
It has been a trying time.
Your house has all but been wiped out.
Yes, there are very little of us left.
Well, I'm not gloating when I say that, but merely stating fact. Fact which I'm sure rests more unwell with you than anyone else.
It is hard. But what brings you all this way, I know it is not just to talk about deceased relatives of mine.
Hansel Gekri says, "But I figured it'd be important that we at least clear the air a bit before we talk about what we're here to talk about. We are willing to put the past behind us and understand that it was a different time then. We are different people than our fathers and grandfathers. We have a common enemy, which is of greater importance than the blood feud that took place all those years past."
Noxiqual's listening to this carefully, hand resting on his hilt.
Robin is acting very bored, like, and just like rubbing his eyes, like he wants to go back to sleep.
I appreciate that you do not blame me for the downfall of my ancestors, as so many others have. I am not those people.
Well, it is often in the way of things that sons hate sons of other men for the sins of the father.
Very true.
And the past is a cloudy and complicated place to go investigating, often colored by opinion, often penned by the victor. We do not have any pretense to be your friend But we do have an enemy that is greater than any other. We share that enemy.
We do.
Back to the diviner, Dorian Keldon. The Mer Queen stirs. She has been contacted. She has been contacted by an entity that I at once find great hope and great fear. Dare I say an entity greater than herself. Beyond the mists of our realm in Bazagon, a god has been remade. Mitra Satsil, the god emperor, now lays claim to Bazagon and likely the entire world. Do you know of whom I speak?
Would I know of her?
Well, you know of this goddess called Mitra, who is almost looks like a giant Naga. She's called Mitra the Devourer, and she's a goddess of life and death. But he said Mitra Satsil, so make a religion check.
Okay. $18.
Even with some amount of knowledge in this topic, you've never heard of this. So just to make sure everyone's on the same page about the world of Ikoria, there once was a time of yore where the gods were alive and they're in the world. There was a cataclysmic war, actually a number of them, and all the gods were killed or died in some fashion. When they died, their corpses remain, like statues or mummies and other idols, and their spirits scatter out, go into a weakened, latent state, and they go into these tiny little demi realms, kind of like the Great Wheel. So what he is talking about here is a god in full power, re-manifest, present again, existing in the world. That's what he's talking about. Okay.
Okay.
Mitra Satsil, the mithril dragon god, greatest of all dragonkind. She has laid claim to Bazagon, and her followers are many. Few would defy. I'm sorry, he just said her. This is a topic of debate. Some think Mitra Satsil is female, some say male. Okay, so he's continuing with she because the worm version was female. Mitra has turned her gaze towards many sources of power. And in Dreckengrim, there is none more holding sway than Amarantha, the Mer Queen. I fear that in Mitra's contacting of the Mer Queen, she has been roused. A mighty hand has shook her, and she quakes, trembles, sputters, even as our great pall of slumber keeps her held at rest. We are uncertain as to the effects of this in the coming times. Sumner Field and Norgal's Rock are rallying, and war shall break before ere long.
I do not believe this is a war that they can win. Especially if they rally with the power of the Mer Queen and Mitra as well.
We are uncertain as to Mitra's intentions, but we do not believe she wishes to ally with Amarantha. We believe that Mitra seeks to be the emperor of the world, and as it currently stands, we see none that are able to defy her. There is much that is happening in the wider world beyond our land of dreams and nightmares. But while we do live here, we would like to keep on living. Silver Citadel, the humans, dwarves, as much as we can muster our rallying for the great battle in the Water Castle and in the swamplands to the north. We need all the power we can muster in this fight.
Are you asking me to go to war with you?
I'm afraid I must.
Okay, with that,
There was a time. There was a
sorry.
time when your grandfather served on our council as Archmage of Evocation. He was there the day of that great battle. It was he who let us down that could have delivered the felling stroke that slew Amarantha. You have a chance to right this wrong, to make up for this misstep.
All right, Robin's actually gonna speak up here and look at Lykar with like wide eyes, like Lykar, I don't really want to go to war. Wars are really bloody and dangerous. I don't. Just lots of very bad things that happen in those things.
Robin,
With
adults are talking.
adults, these random men just showed up on a ship and told you to go to war. Let them go to war. Why don't you all go to war? You seem capable enough.
Oh, the tomfoolery of youth. I would give up all these years of learning just to have that sweet embrace once again.
Yes, it's quite nice because I don't have to go to war.
Now, Lykar,
Yes, Scott.
I have heard tales of these things, of which they speak, of which they insinuate you are a part, mostly from a long-winded dwarf who spoke with a funny voice. I don't recall his name, but he, started talking, and then suddenly it was several hours later. Anyway.
Kivish.
Is this a war that you think we could win? Is this how we win our fame and glory? Or is this how bards sing for years of our demise?
Well, Card, you can't sing if you die in the war. Captain. I'm gonna look at the captain. Let's not go to war, all right? I think it's a bad idea.
We understand the gravity of the question, the request we make of you. We do not make it with pleasure. It is a matter of survival.
Yes, you know how you
Should
survive?
the dragon god attempt to contact her again, we are uncertain of what effect that might cause. She might awaken.
Yes, that would be perilous for all here. Especially those who have kept her in this state of slumber.
Our wards are
much
powerful,
time?
but the things we have heard of the dragon god fighting in Bazagon, it is beyond anything that we have ever known.
Do you summon all of the Stormbringers, or merely that one? And he motions to Lykar.
We would be grateful to have you all, but we understand that foremost it is Lykar who we must repair a badly burned bridge. In fact, there's nothing left of that bridge. We must construct a new one.
Well, be careful. Lykar might burn the new one. He likes to shoot fireballs out of his ass.
How much time do you need before you require an answer?
There's talk of the war beginning once the last snows of winter have melted away.
Esper, break that down for me in terms of how much time.
2 months?
Okay.
Oh, so that's a decent amount of time, actually.
But there will be much preparations before then.
Yes. I'm not opposed to selling the Stormbringer's services in a war. I've already struck a blow against the cult of Amarantha in Dirge Caverns, as I'm sure you're aware. I know that there was some involvement of the Silver Citadel at the time when it was discussed, so you were aware of everything. But I would require something. I have a task I cannot set aside that is very important to my patron, and were that not satisfied, I could not guarantee the help of myself or my crew. Perhaps the magics of the Silver Citadel, those who are present, could expedite this.
What is it exactly that you seek?
There was a ship that this man, I point to Drake, was traveling on from Azagon to here. It sank.
The elven sentinel who greeted us.
Yes. He was on a ship that was taken beneath the waves, close to this island that we are on right now. We seek something from that ship.
Arms from the deep, pulling the ship beneath the waves. The siren gives its last kiss.
If you could help us locate that ship, just give us the precise location, that would expedite matters, and perhaps Lykar could give you his answer via sending, or I can cast a dream spell myself. I'm going to have him dream to you and give his answer after that is completed.
I shall have you know I request a grant of lands. If I am to serve in a war and fight for your side, I wish to be entitled to a nice tract upon which to build.
That device upon your shield, it is House Harkness, is it not?
Why, yes. As a matter of fact, it is.
Daring sons, bold men, descendants of the one who claimed the Hawk's Nest in those days, the age of heroes, there in the misty tops of the Touring Mountains.
Builders, masons. You said you were building a bridge.
Yes. We will do what we can to vouch on your behalf to House Rodvin of Sumnerfield. We cannot make a promise, but assuredly they will give you as generous a concession as is feasible. Though I must ask, what of the ship that was claimed by the Deep Drinker?
Indeed. If you could point us there, we could take care of our business.
Yes, but what of the ship? Why are you interested in it?
My patron has an interest in this. That is all I am at liberty to say. But I can assure you that it does not go against any of the Silver Citadel's interests, to my knowledge. And further, should this matter be dealt with, clearly you have a great interest in my companion, Lykar, enough so that you spent resources to teleport and communicate with him here.
Mm-hmm.
I have many sources of information, knowledge that might be valuable in this upcoming war.
Your patron.
Indeed. Not just my patron, but, shall we say, other sources. I know Amarantha, for example, has some sort of ties to a demon prince, shall we say. I think you know which one, Geb.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Orcus's fell might thrums from within her.
Indeed. I may have some information that could potentially do some damage to that source of Orcus and his presence within our lands.
And this patron of yours, the Mask of Shadows, who speaks from beyond.
Yes.
What is it that he wants with this sunken ship?
I've told you, he has an interest. Is it so important that you know exactly what his designs are? I would suggest you speak with him directly, contacting him in his own plane. I'm sure that's not beyond the Archmages.
Are you confident in the trustworthiness of your patron.
I have served him for many years now. He has never betrayed me, not once. He has been loyal and rewarded my loyalty.
Do you not worry that he aims you towards an end which may bring about your own destruction?
Well, we can always make choices. I am free to make any choice, and he does not require me to limit my choices, I should say. If we come to a point where there's a branch, our paths do not unite, I feel that he would allow me to make the choice, whether or not he agrees with it, and then the consequences are on my head.
You would be willing to break your pact, align yourself with a different entity?
I didn't say that, but until such a occasion arises where I would have to make a choice between that, I am loyal to my patron.
As far as I know, there are only two other entities capable of bestowing upon you such gift of shadow power. One is the Queen of Ravens, who sits the throne in the Plane of Shadows. The other is Deep Drinker himself, who stole a bit of her shadow essence once upon.
Mm.
Clearly, you would not align yourself with Deep Drinker. Would you align yourself with the Raven Queen?
Why?
Ortho squawks at that.
Mistress is great.
I'm gonna like look. I'm gonna look and be like, shush right now. Don't say anything, though.
Why should I align myself with any but my patron?
But if you were put into a position where you were faced with certain doom if you carried out the orders of the Masked One, and you thus wish to take up a pact with a different shadow entity, you would clearly not go with Dagon. You are no fool. You are no fool.
No, I am not.
Would you then go for the Raven Queen? Would you let her be your new sovereign?
You pose these hypotheticals as if that is the only two choices.
But you have to think ahead, many, many steps ahead. There are several eventualities that could be.
I'm gonna speak up and say, dear wizard, why does this matter? You're asking us to go to war for you.
I see what
everything
he's
is connected, dear elf. Everything is connected. The world is like music, like a grand symphony. Each has a part to play that is in sync with others. Noxiqual, Captain,
yeah.
Who is it exactly that you think the Masked One is?
I suppose you know who he is with certainty to ask such a question.
Then we will trade. I will tell you what I know about the Masked One, and you will tell me what it is that you are seeking in the ship, the sunken ship.
This information is not mine to freely give. You asked me to give, to basically betray my patron's knowledge to you.
Oh, is he listening to us right now? I hardly think he is at all places at all time.
Are you not asking?
There's no shadows here on this deck. Where would he appear?
See, I believe that is the difference between you and me. You serve only yourself and the ideals of the Silver Citadel. I work in partnership with my patron.
I serve the realm. You serve one person who has his own agenda.
Do we not all serve a master of sorts? You say the realm, but I'm sure there's someone in the realm that makes decisions and gives you your orders.
We are the Council of Archmages. We discuss things at length with reason and logic. We do what is best for the people. Drekkins, we must survive. We must do more than survive. We must have meaning to our life, to bear children and grandchildren, to leave a world that is fit. This is a greater cause than treasure hunting for one fell shadow entity.
We could argue philosophies here all day, and It'll only get colder, I'm sure.
Well, then I propose a trade. You will get something that is helpful to you, and I will get something that is helpful for me.
So, your trade, you offer me knowledge of the masked one that he could tell me himself, if he so wished.
Clearly he hasn't. What is his name?
The masked one. Yeah, I'm gonna. That actually worked. Can we say that? Can we actually say that at the same time? That's fantastic.
You've told me everything, which is that you know very little of the one that you serve.
I know.
You don't know what's in the. You don't know what's in the sunken ship.
I know what I need to know.
Very
Listen.
well. Once you have recovered your treasure, keep my offer in mind. I would like to know what it is.
Okay.
Should you tell me then, I will tell you a little bit of what I know about the identity of who it is that you are serving.
Very well. I will keep that in mind.
So, until then, we will guide you to this, or I will use my divinations to find the location.
Perfect.
And I have the word of the Stormbringers that you will ally with the forces of the living to fight against Mer Queen and her army of the dead.
After I have dealt with this, and after my patron is satisfied, then we will discuss the war and allying with you. Lykar, you have my leave after we have fulfilled this duty to do what you will, if you wish to go with them. And the rest of the Stormbringers will discuss at that time. Is that amenable to you, Archwizards?
It's hardly a promise.
That's because it's not a promise.
You are doing me a service here. For that, you do deserve something more than just words of half promises. I will give you, for the information that you provide me, I will give you the information that I have that will be of use to you in this war. And furthermore, if after this is done, my patron has no objections, I will enter the crew into service in this fight. For
Lykar, do you have something?
I was just listening. I was agreeing if that he's going to help. I think Robin would make an excellent frontline soldier.
I'm gonna look back at you. I would make a horrible frontline soldier.
Now, I cannot speak for all of them. They will require their own payments. Card apparently wants land. Lykar has things that he needs to do to restore his family.
The time for rewards and glory will come after the war is won.
That we can discuss at a later time. My information, I guarantee everything that I have, my resources to provide the information to help you. The service of my crew, that is dependent on many factors after we are done. I cannot guarantee every one of them.
What if come spring, you must choose between allying with the army to fight against the Mer Queen or going off on yet another treasure hunt for a masked shadow entity?
Well, that would depend on the masked one. I suppose I will discuss this with him after you have returned to your citadel. Perhaps he is the one that you should be asking for allegiance.
He is no help to us.
He is no help to you. He has already caused a great many things to happen within this world, including setting me on a path.
You have done these things, Noxiqual.
With
he is a shadow, a wisp. He is nothing. Not here, not now. You are the one who is doing it all. True, his power flows through your veins, but you are the vessel.
It's one way to look at it, I suppose. I believe that the masked one has great interest in the things that happen here in Dreckengrim. And I believe that he is a force that, if not benevolent to the people, at least does not wish to see them doomed to nightmares and amaranthas. Predatory.
Yes,
Dominion.
so we have established that he is not the Mer Queen and he is not a demon. That hardly speaks highly of him.
My point being is that you're saying that the Mer Queen's going to cause the destruction of these lands if she were to wake. I think he would have an interest in stopping that. I think I can convince him.
Very well. I will find your sunken ship, and I want the word of the Stormbringers that you will be their accountable ally come spring when the war begins.
When the war
you will be rewarded once victory is struck, handsomely.
Very well.
Is that agreeable?
I am agreed.
Lykar?
Yes, I will fight. My reward will be to clear my family's name.
Yes. We want that for all of our sakes. And I believe there is something greater in store for you as well. Something that maybe you have only dreamed of, or perhaps seen glimpses of.
Perhaps.
So it is settled. He gazes into his orb, says some words, does some gesturing. There's a bit of a hazy effect that's in there for a time. The prize you seek is 10 miles due south of the Isle of Dusk. But look, sorry, 20 miles. 20 miles due south of the Isle of Dusk. You will enter into the mists.
Ah, yes. I divine the answer. It lies 10 miles to the south. I mean 20. Some inspiring divining there.
I'll have none of your lip. I'm not as sharp as I once was when I was younger.
Oh yes, I can tell.
If you sail 20 miles south of the Isle, you will enter into her mists.
And?
I just thought you should know.
Yes.
Hold still for just a moment. Trust me.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Trust me. He passes a hand over you. You feel a tingling sensation run through you.
God, what is this strange man doing to our captain?
A parting gift. Call it an offering of goodwill, so that I know you will be a reliable ally. Seek the seal at the shrine of the Wandering King.
Seek the seal at the shrine of the Wandering King. Wandering King is
Nyarlathotep.
And we know his shrine's on this island. Okay.
We will be in contact. And they are gone.
Lykar, stop bringing strange men on our ship. It's very weird. You see what he did to the captain with the... I'm going to try and imitate like what he was doing. Like, that's normal people don't act that way, all right? And then he wants us to go to war. Like, oh.
All right, enough of that. We're going to deal with this right now. We now know where we need to go. We're going to get that done. And then, well, sounds like we have a war to prepare for.
Yes, it does.
But before that, we're going to go on shore. We're going to get a couple more men. I think I can talk to one of the other captains. I'm thinking, old captain.
Chappie?
Arden Galen?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, I figure he's kind of, he might know some old friends that, were sailors that might want a ship sail. So we can get some from him, and I want to go to the shrine and see what the guy was, giving me a hint about there. So that's where I'm headed.
So the Stormbringers have struck a deal of sorts with the Silver Citadel and really with the Greater Drakengrim to fight on the side of the army that will be striking out against the Merqueen come spring.
Yeah, unless the masked one says betray them, and we'll see how that goes.
Somehow this band of treasure hunters wound up signed on to fight the big bad.
We get to save the world.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of treasure there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm not directly opposed to stopping Amarantha from eating Drakengrim, with her nightmares. But depending on how things go, there's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah, there are a lot of unknowns, and especially talk of a dragon god emperor remanifest who's attempting to contact the Merqueen in a land where she's blocked the majority of divine connection.
Yeah, I want to say if the dragon god is like the winning side, I might be like, hey, Silver Citadel, get in line. We got a better offer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, if the dragon god is interested in us, I don't know if the dragon god is like, oh, mortals, worship me or I'll destroy you. Yeah.
So where are we heading right now?
Yes. What is the first step now?
Well, Drake's going to go with Noxiqual.
I want to go to the shrine of Nyarlathotep, whatever.
Nyarlathotep.
Yes, that's the one. So I want to go there, and then I feel like we can kind of, if you're okay with it, do a quick little, get some more crewmen from possibly Cap. And if that works out, then we can set sail for hopefully getting this quest done. The quest we've had for like 20 episodes.
Yes.
Okay. You all make your way back into Rockerstad, the five of you. Is that right?
Yes.
All of you go to the Shrine of Nyarlathotep?
Yep.
Okay. They just plucked stones out of the land and mortared them up into a small shrine structure. It's kind of tall, but definitely not a big, wide by any means. Literally inside has about a 40-foot by 30-foot room. High ceiling. They have this log totem thing that has the etched stylized Wanderer King with like a crown of stars above his head. There's a wooden altar. There is a lot of people there when you arrive. They're shouting, they're whooping, they're hollering, they're shouting praises. They have like a chicken sacrificed on the altar. One guy has like this grimoire thing open up and he's trying to like read the words out of it. Shamlash karstoblongen skilklaken. That's skilklaken. Skilklaken. Hail to the Wanderer King. He who has traveled all gates and all doors, all open before him. Give us your might, your fortune. Give us a sign, Nyarlathotep.
Captain, it's much different than last time we were here.
This is not the same shrine.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a different shrine?
This is a different shrine.
Oh,
There's two
sorry.
shrines.
I thought this
Yeah,
was
The
same.
sacrificed
Of course
chicken
it's
and
different.
goat entrails on the altar burst into smoke. It's a strange blue and brown swirl smoke thing. It smells awful. All the air goes like chilling cold for a moment. The wooden totem seems to kind of like warp and waver and sway. One of the guys like screams and like falls over unconscious and is like convulsing.
Never read in Call of Cthulhu. Just never read anything. That's just asking for that.
Captain, it's very stinky in here, and they're doing very strange things, and they're all very weird. Can we leave?
Noxiqual looks around. He's looking for, what was it? The totem, the sign,
The seal.
The seal.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking for the seal, whatever that might be.
Are you actually like looking around now in the middle of their right?
I mean, I'm going to walk around them. I'm looking to see if I can spot it from the outside.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, while you're looking around, one of the worshippers or cultists or whatever it is. He like puts his arm around your shoulder. Miraculous, isn't it? Oh, the visions, the blessing. He is touched, referring to the convulsing man on the ground.
I push the guy to arm's length. I'm like, yes, that's great.
Yes, I'm gonna show. Yes, Captain, it's quite great indeed. Maybe you should go with the rites.
Where in this shrine is there a seal? You know of any such thing?
We sacrificed a seal here just 2 weeks ago. There might be a bit of bone still left in there.
I believe more a seal as in some sort of sealed sort of sign, perhaps.
I don't know what that means. Oh, he's coming too. And the guy's like head is jerking around and he's mumbling out these weird syllables.
Yeah.
Captain, I think I'm gonna whisper. Captain, I think they're all idiots.
Yeah, you don't know if this guy literally is having like visions from the Wanderer King or if he's just like BSing, speaking in tongues.
I'll cast tongues on myself. I have that spell. Just to see if I understand anything he's saying.
You cast tongues on yourself, and suddenly you hear this voice coming from this guy's mouth. And I'm not going to, myself personally, I'm not going to say the words because Noxiqual won't remember them. But there is something speaking, a great unfathomable voice from beyond. And it like is like fingers pulling at your brain. Make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna use my inspiration on this.
The guy ain't faking. Something is channeling through him.
All right, let's see. I have a total of, this is wisdom.
I really hope you fail.
I have a 17.
You all see Noxiqual's eyes, or I guess we should say eye, roll back in his head, and he actually kind of like lifts up a few inches off of the ground for a moment. And Noxiqual, all you see in your mind is like this outline of a gate or a door, and it's like, and there's another one, and you feel like you're flying through the astral sea, like through door, through portal, and then like your vision returns, and you nearly like collapse to the ground. And that feeling you have, like when you're casting a spell, when you feel like arcane energy running through you, you have like a really strong flash of that, maybe stronger than you've ever felt.
Powerful.
Whenever you cast Dimension Door, henceforth, you can go up to double the distance.
Okay. Nice. That's really useful.
That is very useful.
That's like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Boon of...
Dang it, only if we were a couple levels higher, Drake would have also heard what was said.
Esper, I would like to cast tongues as well, please.
That's 1,000 feet now.
That is 1,000 feet.
That's awesome.
What?
Well, after seeing what happened now, I'm going to say, Captain, you do realize you were just floating, right?
My head. Yes.
Here, let me go get Cod. Captain needs some help.
Oh, I'm fine.
No,
you have heard the voice of Nyarlathotep, and you have heard his unfathoming insight through space and time.
Well, that'll be handy.
And come out unscathed, right? You're fine.
I mean, yeah, totally. There's no weird stuff left in my head. Yeah.
Cod, I really think you need some healing. Can you like do something? That's not normal. That even for you, Noxiqual, that people don't just float and have the eyes go back in their head and then come down and say everything's fine.
I hide the tentacles in my mouth quickly. I'm like, oh no, everything's fine. Everything is perfectly fine.
Hey, Esper, is there any way I can suddenly get 5 levels real quickly so I can get so I can use my key to understand what is being said?
It seems no worse for the wear, dear Robin. I met one once who said he talked to a god, although It was the strange dwarf I mentioned who always went on about how
I mean, I could
Orveos
cast
is
tongues
Lord
again.
of the Dreams, and in his realm I am going to
This wonders
travel
if this
because
dwarf
I'm
is
going
on
to
something.
go that
You know,
way. Or
you know,
something like that.
one
Lykar.
time, Todd, I actually talked to a god once. I was very, very drunk, but I swear it was real.
Lykar, do you want to listen to him as well? Perhaps you might gain some insights.
Sure.
Either that or you'll go crazy again. One of those
No.
two.
It's a short drive.
Oh wait.
I
Ascard says
cast tongues on Lykar.
wait. Ascard says yes. Though I'm gonna nudge Card and say, "Card, I'll bet you tin gold that he comes out crazy."
Lykar, you're accepting the tongue spell.
Sure.
You're gonna listen to the voice of Nyarlathotep.
Okay.
All right. The mad babbling of this man suddenly transforms into this vast voice that reaches from the space between the cosmos. This same effect happens. Lykar's eyes roll back to just white. He like levitates up, seemingly paralyzed momentarily. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Please don't fail.
Oh, wait,
Don't
before you do that, I am curious, Card. Do you want to take that bet?
I think I'll hold on to my money, thank you.
Oh, what do you think you're going to lose?
Not so much that as just
Okay. Well, I got a 19.
where are tricks.
Woohoo!
A similar effect happens. You have this vision of being flung or vaulted, or really just like zipping straight through astral portals one after another, faster and faster, until you become one with light, and you're flying faster than light itself, yet slower than slower than the growing of a blade of grass. And then it's gone, and you come to, you like catch yourself on the ground. You see lightning like rippling over Lykar, and like the clouds ahead actually like boom with thunder. And you have a similar effect now. And whenever you cast Dimension Door, you actually can go double the distance.
Lykar, you all right?
Yes, I am.
I was hoping he'd learn something like ride the lightning. He'd turn into a lightning bolt and.
All right.
Now I really want to know what would happen if Drake compared to this.
You
Well, you're
see a stormy face in the cloud ahead, Lykar, for just a moment. You've seen it before in certain moments and visions.
Oh, is that the rider?
The face in the cloud of Telvantis, the Storm Titan.
Oh, okay.
He gazes upon you with his great, immense, and rather intense glare.
What's up, Pops?
There is a boom of thunder, and the face dissipates through the march of clouds.
Just gonna throw up a gang sign or something.
Wait.
Arcane gang signs.
Yeah.
Lykar, remember who you are.
The cultists are very fascinated by these two spellcasters here, and they're clamoring, "What has our king said? What were the words of the Great One? He has spoken from beyond. What did he say?"
He told you all to go away from us.
No. He spoke. Myself and Lykar heard the words. This is not something that we can put into words to you. You simply have to understand it. Time and space. They are not what you think they are.
But what do we do? What about the mists? What about the colons? What about Grenadoa sending the mercenaries to capture our captains?
Those are questions. And I turn and I start to walk away.
I'm actually, as he starts walking away, I'm gonna look at them and be like, my friends, if you just perhaps give an offering to us, we can take it to your gods, and perhaps we can learn more for you.
Damn. Trying to scam some worshippers.
Make
Oh, yeah.
a
Oh, yeah.
Make a deception check.
This one wonders why the dumb bird keeps trying to steal from others.
Alright, I got a Oh, I'm really good at this. Deceptive, that's ×2. It's 8 plus charisma. It's 12. So that's 24. So I'm like
Here.
really.
He like holds up like a jingling sack. That's all I got.
No, thank you. I'm gonna bow my head and be like, I will be sure that he receives it, and we will tell you more as we learn.
When will we know?
I'm just going to say, when the gods decide to let us know, they work in very mysterious ways, but we will be back.
Such
Robin.
attitudes of wisdom floweth over from his
Can
lips.
Drake call Robin out on his bullshit?
Oh no, don't do it!
I do hope you know that which you do. You do know these folk are not entirely flush with magic beans at the moment.
Yeah, as I'm walking away with Kyle, I'm gonna say, yes, I know, but look, and I'm gonna like look inside to see how much I got.
We'll wait for you here each morning.
Yes, we will be back, my children. We will be back.
So there's no way for Drake to call out Robin on his bullshit there.
I mean, you can say
You
whatever
could,
you
you
want.
could. Yeah.
Yeah, Drake is going to call him out before he has a chance to walk away. This one wonders, dumb bird, are you going to steal constantly from everyone?
I'm going to like put that like hold it and I'm say, steal? Drake, why would I steal from these kind men? I'm simply giving an offering to their god, to Noxiqual. He has spoken with their god, and he knows the power and the words, and they need an offering for the wisdom.
The captain would have told him if he had anything to share. The captain did not. So this one sees you only taking money for yourself.
No, you see, the captain simply did not know the words at the moment, but with enough time and effort and offerings, he'll be able to ascend further and gain more knowledge, to come back and I'm going to look at them all and share this vast knowledge with all of you. Is that not what you all want? Do you not wish to learn more from your gods?
Even though the captain does not follow this god?
The captain not follow this god? Did you see what happened? I'm going to look at them all and say, did you not see
This
what
one
he
saw what
did?
happened. This one saw the captain cast a spell and something happened to the captain.
Yes, and he spoke with their god. He said so himself.
This one does not hear me clearly state that he spoke with the god.
I thought the Noxiqual said that he did he. Oh, okay. I wouldn't have said that. I actually thought that he said that. Like in my own, like I really did.
He never said he spoke with the god.
I thought that he told them that like their god spoke in mysterious ways or something.
That was you. That was literally.
That was
said
you.
Wait, what did you tell them then? You told them something before you walked away.
You said that is a question, and then he walked away.
No,
I
a
thought
little
it
bit
was.
before.
I thought it was like
there was a little
implied.
bit
Yeah.
before that. I said that basically that I could not put into words what Nularth, whatever their god's name.
I couldn't put into words what he said. I can't even put his own name into words.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it's implied that like he spoke to their
No,
god.
no,
I'll still say it though. Yeah, I'll still say what I said.
And
because
I did say one little thing: time and space are not what you think they are,
Mhm.
and then those are questions, and then turned and walked away.
I'll still say what
So
I said.
the
because I do think it's
the
implied.
guy who gave over his little sack of meager coins says to Drake, "Wait, have I given away my money for nothing? That was all I had."
You have.
But what about the Wanderer King? Is he not going to
This
give
one-
us guidance?
This one believes that the Wandering King shall give you guidance in a different way.
I'm going
This
to
one does not believe you should trust the dumb bird and points at Robin. This
I'm
one
going-
I
knows.
told you we only need to sacrifice chickens and goats, not give any money.
I'm going to look up
Yeah,
and
it's
say,
not like they have a coin slot in here.
I'm going to look and say, friends, listen to me when I say this, that your coins are how
Drake casts Minor Illusion on right in Robin's ear as the loudest sound to stop him from spreading any more lies.
I'm gonna like take that and sort of like try and muster through and say, and the coins will
Does it again. He's gonna keep, just gonna keep casting as long as Robin's tongue
I'm
lies.
going to be doing this. My friends, I
Does it again?
I think I hear. I think I hear.
I don't want to waste
hear-
my money.
No, I hear your gods, and then
I
I'm going
need
to
to pay my
Yes.
rent.
Now, as I say, I hear their gods.
I have no
with all this
food at
noise.
home.
As I say, I hear their god. I'm going like with this. I'm gonna like get on my knees actually from like the noise, and then I'm going to cast silent image, and have sort of like a bit of a flash of just like sort of like something that looks like very like majestic and like powerful, like godlike, and like sort of try and make it similar to some of the things I've seen in here, right? So like I think I could like come up with something that is similar to what their god would do from like what I can see in the surroundings.
Some of the people fall prostrate. The Wanderer King has appeared. Others,
He just cast a spell, you fool.
This one believes he's also cast a spell, and then drops Orb of Darkness onto Robin's head.
I'm going to like, and I'm assuming they can see this, right? They can see the orb of darkness.
yeah, they're all just watching.
Yeah.
this.
I'm going to be like,
Craziness.
I'm going to say, I've been blinded. What? It's the god. It's a vision. I see darkness.
It's an
I see-
anti-vision.
Yeah.
This
But,
one
wait-
dropped an orb on you, dumb bird. This one wants you to leave the gold behind that you swindled.
With that, I'm gonna like reach for Card, but Cod, help me.
I think you'd best help yourself by not being involved in this.
Yes, but he's always involved.
He does find the need to get involved.
Robin, do you give back the man's meager bit of coin, or do you
No.
keep a hold of it?
No, I keep hold of it.
No.
And then Drake just keeps using minor illusion on Robin.
Well, you can't see
wait,
him anymore. Yeah.
Well, he can. Oh, true.
Yeah, you can't. see
You could
my-
just
yeah.
make the gong sound.
Yeah, he keeps making the gong
Right.
sound with the snap of his finger. as
That wouldn't be
close to
just
where-
for me though, right? That would be for everyone.
He does it closer towards the center of the orb because he knows that's where Robin is. Because he placed the center of the orb right on.
Oh, for
Um,
crying out loud, I can't take you anywhere. Listen, people. Hear the word of Narthotep.
Yes.
Yes.
Hear the word of Simon and Garfunkel.
Yes. He wishes you to listen, to hear, to see that your reality is not what you believe. There are gates, there are seals on reality, and you must pass through them only by perceiving what cannot be seen or heard. Go. Bother him and me no more. And I walk into the darkness, and there's like a cuffing sound, and then the darkness orb starts walking away as I'm dragging Robin in the darkness.
Drake's going to pull out his bag of coins and give the man who gave up his coins 10 gold.
Also, the masked
So
one,
much
worship
gold.
him.
10
Okay.
gold.
So the man looks at the 10 gold coins in his hands, and then he's like, oh, and he starts running, and other people are like chasing after him, trying to get some of the coins.
Yeah, I'm gonna like. What's that?
Yes, that goes for chaos.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, what's that commotion? What just happened? I hear lots of noises.
Hey, you owe me money. You gave it all to me. It's mine.
How much? Who gave
I'm
you money?
rich.
Oh my golly.
I
I don't
know.
know about that dowry of my daughter.
I just march Robin away.
I'm gonna say, Drake, did you give them money? Did you give that man money?
So does not know what you speak of.
How much money did you give him? Because I didn't think he had that much.
Don't even worry about it. Let's just get back to the tavern.
All right.
So it sounds like you don't get too much into discussing with the cultists here.
Yeah.
You let them
wanna get
scatter
into
and go their
philosophy.
ways. They're going to
I-
be coming back like every morning, waiting for you to reappear and give them some guidance from the Wanderer King.
I am curious how much I got. Like, how much was all of his money?
Roll 2d6.
Dang it, I was trying to get them not to do that.
2d6 wooden coins.
That's a 10.
10?
Yeah.
All right, you have uncovered 10 copper coins.
Oh no, I feel so bad now.
And 5 wooden nickels.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna look at it like when we're walking out and be like, I just got 10 gold pieces, guys.
I can see that's
Yeah,
not
you
true.
took like his flop house rent and his food money for a couple, for several days.
I mean, I'd be pretty happy with the Narthotep if 10 copper turned to 10 gold. Yeah. So, yeah. Anywho's, I would love to keep going, but I feel like we're getting to a point where maybe we should just do some
It's
stuff
about
until-
pausing time, yes, but I think
Yeah.
there's
Yep.
one final thing that
Can we do it?
happens.
All right, cool.
I think you are looking around the shrine.
Yes, that'd be great if we can do that. Yes.
So the decorations in here are meager. As I described, it's got these basic stone and mortar walls. It's got a pretty nasty altar now with entrails dripping off of it and some burnt smells. And there's this log thing with the carvings in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
At a glance, nothing else catches your eye. It's a high ceiling, but just a ceiling at the, a little
About the
ventilation.
floor, look behind the altar, look on the altar, under the altar, above the altar.
Yeah, if it's Nyarlathotep, there's got to be some place there that can act as a portal for like a giant tentacled hand or mouth. Yeah.
Why not both? A tentacle mouth.
You look under the altar is, it's little more than like a table. It's almost more like a table or maybe a stand. Pretty basic looking thing. There's some goriness. You don't see anything that looks like a seal, a portal.
We'll cast detect magic and see if I can, tune in on
detect
that.
magic. Okay. You cast detect magic. You are getting like a faint aura of conjuration, but it's just all throughout the space.
Yeah,
And it's faint and fading.
Yeah, it's when he manifested. Makes sense.
Could I maybe see if I know anything about this kind of a shrine, like a religion type check or something like that?
Okay.
I mean, ideally, there's something here to find.
Can I reroll? I mean, I got a 7. I rolled so bad today.
Everything you know is what you just saw take place in front of you.
I'm gonna look at everyone and be like, oh yes.
Can I? Yeah, I'm looking around. I'm just searching the place, seeing if I can find a seal.
Make an investigation check.
All right. Let's see. What's my investigation? +2. All right. 17.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It takes you a bit of time, but you find one of the wall stones you can actually pull out.
Ooh.
And inside, there is a chain with a kind of a handle or maybe a ring on it. The chain is, there's a chain that's coming out of the inside of the wall. It's affixed in there.
Yeah, I'll take it and I'll pull it.
It has some give, and you pull it out, and you hear some movement and a scrapey type sound from underneath this standing totem.
Oh, geez. Are we about to find the way into the treasure vault? Esper, you know what you did. Bad, Esper. Bad.
Do we all hear the scraping inside the?
Yeah, you all hear it. Something just moved underneath that totem.
All right, let's go check it out. Yeah.
All right, so it sounds you kind of heft or shove, scoot over the totem, and there is indeed a tunnel.
Any spider webs
leading down?
Are there any spider webs?
You go in the tunnel a little ways and look, and you're pretty sure there's spider webs down there.
Once I go in and look a bit, I'm going to come back out smiling at the captain and be like, Captain, do you know what this is?
A problem.
Well, Robin, if you know what it is, I dare say we all do, don't we?
with that, we will pause everything here.
That's great.
I'll give you all each a half milestone for some lesser things that have been accomplished and confronted. Thank you, everybody, for watching, either live on the stream or later on the YouTube channel. And we'll see you again here in 2 weeks' time.
Indeed.
Come on, Esper, give me that one milestone, please.
Good night.
Have a good one, Esper. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.